And I was like, oh, fuck. So I just got burned. And I'm like, yeah, that's Sasuke. If you got nothing to show, cover the fuck up.
I know a lot of people kind of like are polarized when it comes to Sasuke. I like him. Cool. He's actually my favorite since ever.
I was not kidding when I told y'all I'm Toby Rama. He was right.
Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking.
He understands why
have you ever seen snowfall in six? Have you ever seen snowfall in six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in six?
But I can't get over the fact
Fall in six.
that
Have you ever seen a snowfall in six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in six? Fall in six. Have you ever seen a snowfall in six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in six?
I get that.
Have you ever seen a snowfall in six? If I knew back then what I knew right now, I'd be on right now. I'm the nigga right now. I'm the nigga right now. Catch a bitch right now. Such a point right now. Getting litty right now. Go to tip right now. Outside right now. Please do not get in my face. You know that I'm riding nowhere. I just needed my space. I drink it straight with no chase. Love when you making that face. Living out of suitcase. Annie, are you okay? I fuck you the long way.
Yeah.
Watch how you talking
I
to
feel
me.
like the
That much I agree.
Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? She's a keeper, legs like Serena, strong like Zena, turn into a streamer. She's a dancer.
I can't go that far. I can't go that
Answer
far.
phone ring, no answer. Getting litty mixed dirty with the
I ain't
banana.
read that
I like
fake ass
a movie, I
story
always
for
got a
him.
camera. I make a vanish, she's
Niggas
sucking
not
my
real.
banana.
I'm sure there is. But
If we never met, I'm there right now. Put a bullet in my hair right now. Yeah, I'm living up moonlight. Moonlight.
the
Talking
second
don't
half
fight.
of Tokyo
You
Ghoul,
by the new light. Even when I'm wrong, you know I'm still right. On another level, reach a new height. I used to hit the fly, just in
I
no
liked him
white.
as a character.
I can't
for
place
the
it in my
first
mind.
part,
Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall?
I actually like him more than Sasuke. So,
Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have
So do
you
I.
ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Fall in the six. Yeah, I'm living off moonlight, moonlight.
He was a dog.
no. We're going too far. 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 Kiba is trash. No, you have to a fart. I don't want to hear it. Choji, I'll take Choji. I'll take Choji. Kiba's too far. At least Choji became the leader of his clan after. What is Kiba doing? I don't know actually. Maybe he's the leader now. I don't know. Hey
I know
man.
that's a basic take, but
No.
I'm saying, like, literally, you want to showcase hard work over talent? Let me follow Rock Lee as the main character then, because he's literally, I suck at 2/3 of being a ninja.
All right.
So,
Everybody.
I gotta
Everybody.
perfect the other one.
Everybody. It's time.
Oh, we ready?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We'll come back to this. We'll come back. We'll come back. We'll come back. We'll come back. First and foremost, greetings and salutations. Welcome to the pilot, episode 0 of the Baroque Works broadcast. I'm here with my illustrious cast. Asahi Buridana. Mugiwara. He said, who's glazing Kiba over there? Nobody. Ignore anything you heard about Kiba. No one said anything about him. Nobody brought up that mutt. That mutt trading loser. Okay? Hope everyone is well. We got a few topics today. We're not gonna go crazy with the first episode. We're gonna do this monthly. You will get like 3 pretty frequently just to make up for February and January. Almost in March. We're in March. I'm here with Griever. Say what's up to the people.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for inviting me, Nah. As always, it's great to be a part.
Of course, I'm here with King Allen. He's here with us. Talk to the people.
Yes, sir. Ready to talk about my boy God Usopp.
Yes.
How y'all doing?
We good? And we got Straw Hat Pat, the Fleet Admiral. He is here. He's ready.
Lady Water.
Today, we got some interesting topics. I would say, for these moving forward, what I will do is, I want you guys to ask interesting questions, and maybe I'll make like a question corner or something like that, almost like a SBS corner or something like that, so that for the next episodes we can answer questions that you guys have and things you have to say about the series and topics and opinions that we had, and we'll go through the comments and pick interesting topics, whether you're hating, not hating, or agreeing, and we'll read them in the following episodes. Good to see you all on top form. We are good. We're good. What's good? Nothing. Can't complain. And first, we're gonna start with just a little bit of like a recent chapter discussion. I haven't really gotten to pick your guys' brain with some of the recent things that happened. I'm starting off with my boy Loki is free.
Yeah.
He is unchained. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Loki is here, baby. I'm so excited to see what he's about to do. I'm here for it. Someone chime in. How are we feeling about that? That was a great chapter, by the way. The Zoro and Luffy interaction, I need that. I missed that.
Bro, I did not think that Loki was going to get freed this quickly. I thought we were going to build a little more into it.
Mm-hmm.
Oda really not playing around, bro.
No, he's not.
Like, the pace of Elbaf has been moving very, very quickly.
Well,
go ahead.
I just want to jump in on that point because I've seen a lot of people worried that means Elbaf's not going to be as long. No. Oda, I think what happened there is that Oda sort of learned a little bit from his longer arcs, from a couple of his quote unquote mistakes, and he's trying to get into the thick of things so he can then spread it out nice and slow. He wants to get all the, like, okay, here's our setup. He's trying to sort of almost rush the setup so he doesn't have to rush the middle act, you know what I mean? And do all this crazy shit with Loki being released, and here's Scupper Gabon, and here's this, and the Land of the Giants, and here's the God's Knights, and here's the strongest warriors, and blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to get all these elements, set us up nice and quick so that we can actually get to the fire, you know what I mean? Because there's so much lore. There's so much lore. I mean, with the mural thing, I mean, there's theories and videos and constant about just that one fucking shot in one chapter, let alone all the other shit going on, right? So I think Oda's just sort of, if quote unquote, rushing the setup of Elbaf so we can spend a lot of time sorting out 99 problems, you know what I mean?
I think also what's going to help it, because compared to out of the last 3 arcs that we had with Whole Cake, Wano, and Egghead, Whole Cake was a series of islands, even though it's called Whole Cake Island, but there's multiple islands in Whole Cake. And then with Wano, it was the entire archipelago. So I think it's going to help with Elbaf just being one setting, you know, like not multiple places to go to, just one big giant land.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, I don't know if you wanted to just chime in on the chapter.
I like it. I think Loki being free is about to cause a lot of chaos in Luffy's space when they were telling him not to free him, but he already did it. That shit would have me fucking dying.
I also laugh at the fact that Zoro was trying to make sure he wasn't being a trickster, and he still was. Like, he just kicked him in his wound, and then was like, "All right, he got hurt." It's not.
No, what I like is Zoro's being the cautious one here. I really like that regard, and we saw the flashbacks with Scopper, remembering that, but we also saw it with Rayleigh before. Is that Zoro is once again being that first mate, that guy who's just like, okay, Luffy, I can let you run wild 99% of the time, but this is one of those 1% moments of the time. Let me go with you. Let me check this shit out. And he still left one sea stone handcuff on fucking Loki because he's like, yeah, no. Let's let the boy wake up. Let's see what he's got to fucking say first. Zoro's not trusting Luffy's word on this whatsoever because Luffy thinks everybody's a good guy. So
yeah, he was like, it didn't seem like a good guy. It was like, how do you know?
Like, you literally tried to kill me over the Baroque works guys, like in Whiskey Peak. Shut the fuck up, Luffy. You don't know the character.
He was like, "You don't know that guy. What you mean? Doesn't seem like a good guy. I don't care."
Yeah.
Did anybody? I know, I know it was the chapter before, but did anybody like the parallel of Kaido or Big Mom mentioning to Kaido, dodge when Luffy when Zoro attacked with Enma in Wano, and now here we had Zoro doing the same thing when Scopper was like, "All right, I'm gonna use a Haki attack," and Zoro's like, "Luffy, dodge!" And it was like, holy shit! Like, we're on the high stakes now. Now we're like, we don't give a fuck if we're Emperor levels and stuff like that right now. It's like, no, there are attacks that none of us should fucking try to tank. You know, I like that.
Yeah, that was a good one. But I laughed at as soon as he seen the form. He was like, "Nah, I don't want to smoke like that." I'm sorry. If they both went all on him, he's not walking away. I don't care what. I don't care what you've done in the past. I don't care how many mountains you've eaten. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I did like. I just want to say I did like. I think Scopper obviously could give both of them 1v1 a run for their money, but obviously he's still old. He's probably stronger than Rayleigh because he's been active more than Rayleigh, just like Garp sort of idea. And he wasn't dying like Whitebeard. So, yeah, sure.
That was actually something my cousin... Sorry, finish your thought first. My bad.
Yeah?
No, finish your thought first.
Oh, yeah. It's just the fact that, like, I believe that right now, because Rayleigh has even said he's been inactive for 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Garp was active, and so by the sounds of it, has Scopper. So if Scopper was roughly the same level as Rayleigh, he's probably the stronger now of the two as an old man. So, and... he did one attack. It blew. You got to remember the size of this fucking tower. He cut a cloud and the tower of the biggest castle in Elbaf. It's like, holy shit. And he did that casually. He's casually mocking Luffy with his observation Haki. And then he's just like, oh, yeah, no. He was just like, I give up. I don't want to get hurt, like sort of idea. Because obviously he'd get hurt trying to fight Gear 5th Luffy or Zoro with 3 sword style. But still, it's like, I still think that Gabon could actually like make them actually try, like, because it just depends on your power scaling perspective. But yeah, I really like that Gabon, like the moment he like showed off and be like, yeah, I can still deal out, like, I'm no joke, but I give up. I'm old. I thought it was awesome. I thought it went in line with the character. It's sort of what Rayleigh would do. You know, I just liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I remember my cousin saying that, like, he definitely believes that, like, in their prime as they were traveling, it was like a Luffy, Zoro, Sanji thing, like a 1, 2, 3. But he actually thinks in their older ages, Gabon actually kind of he stayed more to his level than Rayleigh did. And I'm like, that's an interesting thought. I don't know that it's true.
Yeah,
but that was an interesting thought.
But the only reason is we know he's been traveling. We saw him like still traveling the world, unlike Rayleigh. Plus, we also saw him. He's been on Elbaf. Where you fight the strongest beasts, where you hunt for your food and stuff, you marry the strong women, you have the strong children. Like, that's his whole motif. Rayleigh's been, I mean, he got the Empress of the fucking sea, so I mean, good for Rayleigh, right? That's where all the stamina is going. That's fine. But this man literally is a mountain killer. He went and said, "Oh, Rayleigh, my best friend, got the Empress of the Sea. I'm gonna get the biggest, baddest bitch just to show him up." Fucking. You know, like, so I'm just saying that, like, between the two of them, Gopper's been the one who's been more active. Once again, similar to Garp. Garp wasn't out fighting Yonkos for the last 20 years, but Garp was still out there hunting pirates and being active. Whitebeard was sick. Rayleigh has literally been retired and not had a fight for 20 years, really. So that's the sort of...
He probably hasn't had to exert himself in any meaningful capacity until Kizaru, because he's literally said, this is the first time I've had to use a sword in ages, you know, so that makes perfect sense. I don't know that I agree. Like I'll have to see how it plays out, and I'll give my like final opinion when it's all said and done, when I see Scopper do more and Rayleigh do more. But like that's not nonsensical to me. Like, it made sense when I first heard it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Let me just go through some chats real quick. Hold on. The amount of content we're getting now, imagine if we cut away from Elbaf like Egghead for 2 for events. Oh, that'll be fire. I didn't like the Kuma flashback like that. He got hold. I feel you on that. Like, I liked it more on my second reread. But the first time I thought we're doing the suffering, like we're over suffering. I'm like, stop. Philly on the Vegapunk, but he's alright with me. No, I hate him. Didn't like the Bonney thing either, but I haven't read the arc yet. He's doing his duty as Luffy's right hand man. Listen, I felt everything Reaver was saying the last time. I do not like Vegapunk, and that's why I'm glad Sanji here too. Need me dynamics between the monster trio. Yes, I like that he came down to catch Ripley, vice captain, first mate. Yeah, basically he's like, y'all young niggas got it. I'm gonna head over, but if the island's intact later, come find me. Gear 5 Luffy and 3 Sword Stog in the Merc Gaban, bro. Gaban got a baddie. Respect to him as well. He coded the key, but not his axes. I assumed he was using armament flow. I'm not. It's becoming increasingly harder for me to tell what's being used. I don't think it was Conquerors. I think it was just like emission and whatnot. I still don't think Oda's consistent with it. That's just me. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just telling you. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
I immediately said Conquerors Haki because also I know it's filler, but technically he fought Odin to a stalemate. And we know when once you get advanced Conquerors, you basically at this point we're being told you can't fight someone who has advanced Conquerors if you don't have Conquerors. Like you're going to win. Yeah, like how are you supposed to fight someone who can literally, and we saw what Law was able to do. He was able to reverse fucking Blackbeard's or not Blackbeard's, but the switcheroo ability with literally Haki alone. So if your Haki is top tier, devil fruits don't seem to fucking matter as much anymore. I
guess what I'm saying is if I'm gonna conquer what go ahead, Alan.
No, I was just saying that's kind of what Kaido was implying when he was saying like once your Haki reaches the top level, like that was the peak. Like devil fruit powers aren't the peak.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the way I've always thought that Oda's done a good enough job with One Piece that's showing that there's like multiple ways to kind of get to the top of the mountain, so to speak. Like Queen did not show me any Haki ability that I thought was particularly impressive, but with his scientific knowledge and ability and his devil fruit, he was able to kind of become the second mate of a Yonko, and I think that he's gonna continue to do that. I think if your armament Haki and your observation Haki are trained to its peak, even if you don't have Conquerors, I do think you can beat a Conqueror. I think it just depends on the matchup, what's going on, the environment, and various things like that. Don't forget the great words of the best character in One Piece too. You never know how two devil fruit abilities gonna match up. You never know. You never know.
Going back to what you said earlier, Naya, about Oda's portrayal of it, I do think that it is still somewhat hard to tell. But also, like, how I see it is just at this point of the story that we're in, like, I kind of disagree with Griever. I just, like, assume that certain people are just using advanced Conquerors Haki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised at the former left hand.
I think it's hard.
Rayleigh, he's got Conquerors. So if he did use it, if he didn't, but if you came out tomorrow, like how many years did I suffer as a Garp fan where people said he doesn't have Conquerors? Oda didn't confirm he had Conquerors, and it's like, you morons! He fought Roger and Whitebeard to stalemates for 20 years. Shut the fuck up, So. In my mind, I was like, he's always had Conquerors, and when it finally came out, where were all the people who told me no, I was wrong? So I'm like, I'm just assuming based on his position alone that even if he didn't use it with the key, even if the Black Lightning, as Nia said, Oda is inconsistent. So even if that wasn't Conquerors, still the third strongest on the crew doesn't have Conquerors. The strongest crew in the world, okay, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So. That's just me.
I think sometimes people should like stop arguing against stuff that makes sense, because it's like if the main character has Conqueror's Haki and like we're talking about his granddad who has such a notorious reputation, why would you be upset about him having it too? Like it would just make sense, right?
The things people say about the Monkey D family really just I don't understand that shit.
And
like when people be saying like Dragon is a fraud, I'm like, bro. Are you stupid? We're talking about the most wanted person in the world. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, but all he do is look east, and pretend that he's red from Pokemon. ... I'm tired of him. Do something. I'm just waiting.
You gonna do something? Just give him some time.
I'm with y'all. Like I know I ragged him a lot. I know I ragged him a lot, but I know he will. Like he'll be him and he'll cook or whatever. I'm just sick and tired of him staring at nothing or not doing nothing. Like, hey Kuma, I heard you were tyrant and everybody we knew got captured. But anyways, what's up? Like, bro.
I actually feel that because like literally at this point, almost every
where's the monkey
that's been in the story, we've seen them do something. Like we've even seen Shanks get into the action now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. But the big thing for me, I mean, you guys also remember, I'm sure, because you guys have been fans longer or as long as I have. You guys remember when Zoro couldn't possibly have Conqueror's Haki because that's Luffy's he's the main character, so he's got something that Zoro and the other Straw Hats can't have. So Zoro can't possibly have Conqueror's Haki. That was also a narrative, well back before the time skip and during the original time skip.
Because I found that I would argue that in my neck of the woods, ever since Rayleigh used it, everybody just assumes Zoro had it.
Yes, that's when. But before that, that's what I'm talking about. Right before that, everyone argued that Zoro would never get Conquerors because that's Luffy's shtick. Like that's what sets him apart as the captain, as the king, the conqueror. Zoro's not a king; he's not the captain, so he can't have it. Once Rayleigh showed up, everyone's tune changed. So it was like, yeah. So
that's where I would disagree with people.
I've just been seeing it for years in the One Piece community. So now I'm just sitting there like, nah, fuck it. Conqueror Haki bargain sale. Fuck it.
Once we get Conqueror's Haki and like we understood like the explanation of it, like, and we know that Zoro wants to be the strongest swordsman in the world. Like I just assume that Conqueror's Haki would come along with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm with Naya. That Haki thing is not very clear, but that won't stop me from pushing the Pink Mamba agenda. Kobe got Advanced Conquerors. Let's go. I really need to get it together so I can participate as an active member of this community. I ain't caught up to the shit that you're covering. Well, my bad. I don't want to spoil nobody. People cuss me out just because I said Gaban has 100% proficiency, has Conquerors. Wait. Yeah, sorry. That's an observation. Cause they think ACOC, and I'm like, no, not because a character shows that he has, means that he has ACOC, bro. Now with the new information from the mural, could Conqueror's Haki be something literally otherworldly, like something that came from the Abyss or the Forbidden Star? I do want to talk about the Abyss and stuff in a bit too. I personally do think Gaban has Advanced Conquerors. I'm not mad at that. I just don't know for sure yet. So I'm one of those people, until I know, I'm just like, listen, Mihawk could slice the moon. Let me see it first. That's all I'm asking. Put it on paper, and I'll agree. That's all. That's how I am. I'll wait and see. That's all. That's all.
That's fair.
I appreciate Oda having the Zoro and Luffy dynamic come back like almost like full force a bit, because Zoro's always been the least trusting person in the crew, and I don't blame him for that. Like, you need someone like that. The way Luffy could be a little too trusting. Not that he's like Luffy's like gullible. He's not naive. I think people misconstrue those terms, but I liked it. Like, he was, like you said earlier, Beaver. There's always times where he's like, listen, I'll, with whatever idiot thing you want to do, more often than not, I'll run along with you because I believe that you have the strength and ability to get through it. But every once in a while, I gotta course correct. You can't just quit the crew and come back. That's not gonna fly with me. I'll leave. You know what I mean? Like, and I just felt like he hadn't had a moment like that in a while, so it was really nice to see. And it went for a few chapters, and even Nami coming along because she wanted treasure. But yeah. It was.
Which people have argued that Nami's the true first mate because she's the one who holds the crew together.
Well, first mate is not necessarily a role. It's just the first person that you recruit. So that's literally not Nami. I think you mean vice captain is what they say sometimes. Yeah.
Well, vice captain, and once again, I've seen that argument before too. It's like first mate is the one. It's like, but that term evolved since then. First mate is literally the second in command, as far as we're aware in these days. It doesn't necessarily need to be the strongest, but they're the one that if the captain's down, who gives the orders? That's their job, right? And you could argue that Nami does that a lot of the time, but when shit goes down, Zoro's the one protecting the Mary or the Thousand Sunnies. Zoro's the one in charge. Zoro's the one like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. So he's the vice captain by default, right?
It's like with Zoro's role, like, he doesn't really offer anything when it comes to like ship maintenance or anything like the crew requires. So he just hangs back, trains, and stays quiet. But I think it's great like that because whenever he says something, like the rest of them are going to listen, because now he has something to say. So it works.
Yeah. Like my grandfather was actually both a lieutenant and a captain in both the British Navy and the Canadian Coast Guard, right? And the thing is that he was the navigator, so he had a high rank, but he was never the first mate on the crew, even though he's the one figuring out where to go, what to do, etc. Just like Nami. And this is back when you literally used all the fucking needle points and the pen and paper and all that shit to figure where the fuck you were in the ocean. So very difficult job, but still, he had a high rank. He was never the second in command on any ship he served on, and that was for 40 years. So it's like, yes, Nami is very vital. She's very important to the crew, but that's not what puts her in second in command place.
Nami, I know idiots would sail into the calm belt and get eaten by Neptunians. I'll be honest that I'll be honest that I was a part of the camp that didn't want Zoro to get conquerors. I just wanted him to push armament to his absolute limit and make black blades. Though I don't mind it now. I just didn't want him to have like the super samurai Wano lineage, but it is what it is. That was more my concern. I didn't want everybody to be like, "Oh, you're a German, you're a monkey." Like I'm like, we're doing that.
A Child of Destiny type beat.
I didn't want to overdo it. That's all. That was my only thing.
Yeah.
Zoro didn't even trust Kami when they first met her. Yeah.
I feel like Nami's the one who's probably, if we ever find anything else about Nami's backstory, I feel like she's probably the one who's most liable to be like a child of like something of great importance.
I could see her being the child of Celestial Dragon, 100%.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That would make sense.
I don't think I would like it, but I could see it that they're like, oh, the abandoned children were actually rejects that were thrown away.
It's just so open ended that it's possible.
Rain, what do you think the Abyss is? Sorry, continue.
No, I was just saying she's the only one of the Straw Hats whose backstory is kind of like the origin before the origin has not been explored. I know she was a baby, so for her it could be a little different. But obviously, how did she did she live there? Like, what was going on? How did she get there? Because remember, I always said Sanji's story was pretty much just him starving for several months. So I knew. Yeah,
so when I knew there was more to his backstory, right? And remember, we often used to go to the remember after Alabasta when they're underwater Jaya and they were salvaging, and he sees that woman underwater, and he kind of looks at it, and people used to always feel like there was a reason for that, and the fact that he always referred to himself as Mr. Prince a lot, like it all ended up adding up. He was a German prince technically, also, right? So.
Also, just adding more onto the fact of Nami being a baby there, like, and how we don't know how she got there, it just adds on to like Shanks being found as a baby in a treasure chest, and then like I don't know if we really want to count it, but what's his daughter
Uta.
Yeah, Uta. Like him finding her as a baby, like things like that. Like this is a pattern that we've seen Oda do.
That's not a good movie, by the way. I do not like Film Red. Did I ask you for a musical, bro? Oh my god. Sorry. I tried to watch it the other day. I'm like, I don't like this movie. It don't move me. Gaban has Conqueror's Haki has been shown, so fans don't have to hinder Oda to confirm everything in One Piece. Here's the thing: I'm not against what you're saying, and maybe like one thing that I want to do for a future video is literally scour the manga to see like how consistent everything is in terms of observation, Haki, and blah blah blah, whoop de whoop. So like I'm working on that. The problem is Oda has self-admitted that he's forgotten to do things, kind of like on some Kishimoto, on some Akira Toriyama, rest in peace. So it's like I could put it past me. Oh shoot, I just forgot. Like to show it. Like this nigga was like, I didn't tell you guys kids' fruit's name. Whoops.
Yeah.
Like
well, he admitted to the vulcanization too. He said,
he's human.
I had to come up with that later because I was literally so inconsistent with showing it. And he admitted, Oda, I forget which SBS, but he said basically after Marineford, he was like, no, I've got to show vulcanization at this point because I'm too, like, as you said, I forget to show how it's being used, In the
pre-time skip when Haki was becoming more prominent, he tended to he tended to always use exposition like, "Oh no, did he stab him with Haki?" it's just like, please just show me what it looks like. you know, so
exactly.
So yeah, all right. I want to transition a little bit to what Alan wanted to get into, and something I'm very excited about because, listen, I'm not an Usopp hater. That's my boy. I like Usopp, and he was easily one of my favorite parts about this chapter. My boy was off the juice. he was beating juice, talking about. He's talking about, oh, yo, now I'm kind of bad, right? He's like, yeah, but I'm into older women. Man, slapped the blade and said, who could you possibly be interested in? You're the oldest person in existence. And I'm crying. And then Nami was like, yo, it's been his dream to come here. And we all know how well Usopp has always gotten along with giants. What do we think, like, his role will be in this arc? Like, is he going to play a big role, more of a side role? Like, what are we thinking for Usopp, man?
I'm expecting great things from God Usopp. Absolute great things.
Usoppin'.
Oh. No, but I really feel like combat wise, he still needs a little bit more. I mean, so far he's done since Dressrosa not really much. Getting observation Haki was all well and dandy.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything since.
I could definitely. Yeah, I could definitely, because like Elbaf has kind of like a Norse type of mythology thing going on, so I could definitely see like something of where only somebody who's worthy can lift such and such, and Usopp being able to lift something like that while they're on Elbaf. Because like the library that they're at, the books change in size, so I think there's going to be like a weapon of sorts that's going to change in size for Usopp that he can use.
As a complete side note, that owl definitely kind of reminded me of what's his name, Washi something.
The one from Avatar.
Yeah, he who knows 10,000 things. I don't know, that whole library thing just reminded me of that. I wonder if that's just something from the mythology that I'm not aware of. I'm good with Norse mythology, but it's not as good as like my Greek and other ones, you know.
Yeah, true.
When he's going to fight, he drinks Elbaf sake and gets drunk to gain courage and confidence. Watch the library. I'll gigantify him to make him Nami's little garden joke go full circle. Oh, when he said, "I want to be like them," and him and was it Dory? One of them like, "You want to be a giant?" That actually would be hilarious if you got to be a giant for a bit. I'm here for that. If you could change anything, that's OP, bro. I hope he delivers because I'm keeping expectations low. I think. Sometimes, like when we go to certain islands, we have expectations of certain people fulfilling certain roles. Like, I know a lot of people wanted a lot more from Zoro and Wano. I still think Zoro did a decent amount and did a good amount of Wano. This was the first time I felt like he finally had a more starring role in the story after a while, because you know he was on Wano for a while and we went around without him for a bit. I do think that because of how long Usopp's been talking about Elbaf, and since his first giant, he's kind of gotten along with them. I do think he actually will get a substantial role. I don't know if he becomes the brave warrior he wants to be yet and everything, but I'm expecting a major power up in his weaponry and his sniping, and possibly him tapping back into his observation. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm done.
I would say I actually think that the expectations between Usopp on Elbaf versus Zoro in Wano are two completely different things. There was never like any type of hint towards Zoro having high importance in Wano, and so I feel like people just like inflated that idea, which they did, the whole ZKK thing, but we don't got to get into that. But yeah, going back to like what you said about Usopp, he's been involved in the story, like the whole thing about Elbaf since the beginning with his very first interaction with Giants. So I think him having importance in this arc makes a lot more sense and should be more believable than Zoro. Like when people were believing Zoro would have anything in Wano.
I just didn't get that. I didn't understand the Zoro Wano fixation. Like there was so many crazy.
You know very well as I do. Even the 4Kid stuff was his name's Zoro. He's just like a samurai. Like we had the katana thing. We had the entire thing. He was always set up. So when we were going to the land of the samurai, it was just bread and butter for everybody. And I mean, it does work. The motif works. By the way, Naya pointed out very heavily that what else did you want? He literally upgraded to one of the best swords in the world. He learned to use Conqueror's Haki the same way Luffy can use it. He's the second person ever to scar the immortal Kaido. He fought on the rooftop gang better than the other three, other than Luffy. And then he went after fighting two Yonko, went down and beat the first commander of the Beast Pirates. And gained a new epithet in King of Hell. What more did you want from this man in this arc?
He was supposed to lead
I
the
got more to say
samurai.
about that at the end too. I got more to say about Zoro versus King at the end when we talk about Katakuri.
Well, we'll get to
Fair.
But yeah.
But going back to Usopp, I think that he will like inspire the giants on Elbaf, like the new generation, to get back into that warrior spirit. Looking like at some of the things he said, like when he said, "Is there no hero who will draw Excalibur from the sheath?" Like I don't think that Usopp is going to be the one to do that. If Oda means that that's actually something that's going to happen, I think it's going to be who's that the Scopper's son who will be the one to do it, but Usopp will be the one who inspires him to do it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that
too. I personally think that we get a moment. I don't know if there's going to be something like Excalibur, something involved, like a Sword in the Stone story, but I think there is going to literally be a moment where it's up to Usopp, and instead of crying, and instead of, even like the Nami, Luffy will still be the Pirate King and stuff, because I didn't like that Usopp was like, just lie, and it's like, Usopp, no, you're supposed to be coming into your own. You're supposed to be the brave warrior. You stand even in the face of death. You're supposed to stand by. And I think there's sort of a makeup thing in this arc where Usopp is going to be face to face, and he's going to face down death without crying this time. And I know that's the One Piece thing. That's the gag and stuff like that. He's going to cry, but no, I think this time he's actually going to hold his head up high, and he's going to do like some, I don't know, Aragorn versus the million, you know what I mean? And he's just going to stand there and say, fuck it, we ball. And that's when he's going to be acknowledged by Dory, by Broggy, by somebody saying that was the bravest stance I've ever seen. Like, he's going to be all alone somehow in this arc. He's going to be all alone, and he's going to have to do what he did back in Arlong Park, when he said, I could just lay here and catch up, or I could stand on my own. We haven't seen him realistically do that in arcs in the new world. He got the abs, he got the biceps, which, by the way, the drawings, and there was already a comparison on Reddit showing like, Oda, did you forget that you made Usopp kind of tanky, because in the Elbaf gear he literally just doesn't have any definition whatsoever again.
Is that true?
It's like, wait, what?
I don't think I noticed.
Yeah, the man
shrimp arms over here. I'm looking at it right now.
So either way, point is that's what I want to see from Usopp. I want to see one moment where it's not like, I said what I said and I'm gonna die and I'm gonna cry like a bitch. No. I want Usopp, if he wants to be a brave warrior of the sea, I want him to literally face death with like a D laugh. I want him to smile and laugh and be like worthy of that shit, because that's going to be the indication that he's brave warrior of the sea. He's going to do some Odin shit. I was burned to boil and fucking die with a smile on his face. I want to see Usopp do that shit in this arc. Then obviously he gets out of it for whatever reason. But then the giants, especially Dory and Broggy, acknowledge him specifically with the word brave. That's going to be his indication. That's what I want to see. That's the character development I want, is that Usopp, because character development truly is Usopp he wants to be the brave warrior, but he's still the coward. He's still trying to get out of everything, and he's still trying to ask his crewmates for help. Yeah, that's nice in a character way, but if you want to be able to stand on your own, then you literally have to stand on your own and not rely on other people. So he wants that for himself. I think we need to see that in this arc, in just one moment, one big moment where he doesn't ask Luffy for help. He doesn't cry to Sanji for help. He doesn't do whatever. He's just like, I'm on my own and I've got to face down this enemy, this fight, this whatever. And he stands tall. I'm
actually of the opposite mind, because I think what could happen is that this is just where Usopp realizes he's been a brave warrior this entire time. Because the things that Usopp being the weakest character on the ship, and the things that he has to go through, like I think like Naya said it before, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, they're not brave. They're fearless. Like you know what I mean? Like they don't fear anything. Well, Sanji probably has some fears, but like when it comes to combat, he's pretty fearless.
Yeah.
Usopp is terrified of everything that he sees, like witnesses day to day. But he
Mhm.
still, he still tightens up and forces himself to get through it. Like Usopp was the very first person to stand his ground and say Luffy was going to be Pirate King at the face of death.
Yeah,
So,
actually, it's funny you say that.
so
'Cause hold on, real quick. I was just gonna say that, like,
Mhm.
I'm thinking of Drophy, Miss Merry Christmas, and Mr. Four
Merry
when they
Christmas,
laughed.
Mr. Four.
Yeah, when they laughed, and Babe. I think his name is Babe. But I learned that like
Yeah.
4 days ago. Mr. Four's name is Babe. But I think like someone's gonna like this because I was disappointed in Usopp because he was the first person that in a lot of ways I see to really defend Luffy's dream like that. And he's like, Chopper, there's a time where you cannot run, and that's when they laugh at your friend's dreams, kind of thing. So in Wano, I understand the stakes in Wano were so much higher with two emperors, so I can like understand it contextually, but I want him to make up for that moment. And I almost like where Griever is going, but I almost want maybe something similar to a Zoro nothing happened moment where he has to do something incredible with no one to witness. No one's there. No one gives him credit, but he does the right thing and just does it to do it, and doesn't even.
Somebody, because we know that like nobody witnessed it, but Sanji knew what happened.
Oh, that makes sense. Babe Ruth. I'm slow. Yeah. I'm slow.
You just need one person, like either Dory, Froggy, Brooke, somebody, Robin, somebody to know that Usopp literally did like a nothing happened moment. We just need one character to know it because I don't want another Gini Tomorrow shit.
Okay, you're kind of right. Like someone will see it, but he'll be like, yo, don't brag about it, and like that will be
right.
Okay,
that'll make him break. That'll make him break.
Go back to like
the accolade for doing it. Like that would be amazing. That would be so much because you guys both brought up moments of Usopp pre-time skip, and that's my problem. We haven't had similar big brave moments of Usopp or post time skip, not compared to old times. So what I want to see is something that dwarfs all of them, dwarfs Arlong Park, dwarfs Alabasta, dwarfs all these moments where he was the one standing up for what he believed. Even Water 7 when he stood up for what he believed in and said, fuck you, Luffy, even though that was a bad thing in some ways. Good character for him to actually stand up to his captain and say, no, I think you're wrong, and I'm willing to fight you for it. At least he stood by his beliefs. You know what I mean? That was solid character development on Usopp's part, even if it was in a negative direction. So we need that here. This is Usopp's arc. He needs to have a moment that outshines all of it, you know, whichever way it goes.
But he was honestly easily one of my favorite parts of the last chapter, though. He was killing me, bro. Off the my man was lit.
He was loaded.
He was killing me. But yeah, man, Usopp. I know some people have all these ideas. He'll get like Milner and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like I still think he'll always stay a sharpshooter, a sniper in some sense with his slingshot. But maybe he gets a better version or a new attack or something cool related to North mythology. But it all remains to be seen, man.
One quick thing though, Mjolnir.
Yeah.
People bring that one up specifically because once again, that's the hammer that returns. So he could still be a sharpshooter with the hammer, and it returns to him, and he could still do the long. Like he's never gonna fight toe to toe. He's gonna use it as a long range hammer.
Well, he's used Hammer Star. He's literally slingshot a hammer at someone before. So shoot.
Exactly. So I'm good with him getting something, whether it's Odin's spear, Thor's hammer, whatever. I'm good with him getting an upgrade of some description, like you said, in Elbaf.
And what do you guys think about this, right? So Ryan said could be some sacred treasures in the heaven realm at the top of the Atom Tree or a sky island nearby because the tree's supposed to be humongous. I don't know how high it goes. Does it truly go that high up into the air? Like possibly okay. So that would be interesting because a lot of people do believe for Eneru will be in this arc or be connected to this arc in some capacity. I forgot.
That would be cool.
I forgot the reasonings why, but listen, I like
the fire and lightning thing was a big theory because they said the whole fire and lightning. So they're saying that Savo's going to show up in some capacity.
What about Big Mom? She got the fire and the lightning. No, I actually hope she melted. I don't want to see her ever again.
But I will say one problem with that is that actually when I was watching Tekken 101's video on the mural and stuff like that with Arthur.
My boy Tekken, he's still out here, eh?
Yeah. So when I watched that, he literally said, "See, we could say that Sabo Arakainu is supposed to represent the fire, but literally almost every Straw Hat can create fire." And he goes, Zoro's used fire attacks, Luffy's used fire attacks, Sanji's thing is fire, Brooks' thing is fire. Everybody's got fire for days.
Frankie, for the most part, pretty much everybody can create fire in some capacity. That's a good point.
Yeah, he's like the only one who is actually going to. He made a weird pun, like he's going to water down this thing. Is the newest member Jinbei? Jinbei so far has not launched a fire attack, and he's just going to dose everybody.
What about Baroque? He gonna chill it out. You know, he gonna say, "Chill out, man." with the frozen underworld.
Relax. So, I mean, but so that's where at least I saw where the whole Eneru's going to come into this arc thing was based on the whole fire and lightning will destroy sort of idea, Elbaf in some capacity. So, I mean, will it happen in the future? Because once again, we were told Fisherman's Island was supposed to be destroyed, by our long sister there. But then all of a sudden, it didn't happen in that arc. It's just going to happen. So, maybe Eneru shows up at the end of the series. Maybe he shows up this arc. I don't know.
Ryan, what you said about the fact that he was the first to see the Kabulter Man is interesting. To see like maybe if Usopp would get some type of spirit vision type of affinity. The only pushback I'd have on that is that I felt that Usopp had the closest connection to the Mary, because it came from his village, came from Kaya, whatever the case may be, and he was constantly fixing it. So that's part of the reason why I think he's the one that saw it first. Was it Chopper? Didn't Chopper see it too?
That was.
Because Chopper was stuck because he was stuck at the sacred altar when one of Eneru's god's knights came, the one with the mustache, and was flying on the thing with the heat of the spear, and he was burning the ship up, and Chopper couldn't defend it, and Gonfall came. Remember? As soon as he stabbed the ship, he blew the whistle immediately. I don't know if you guys remember that. I just reread it, so like I remember a little bit better. I just remember his name. I don't remember their names. I remember Satori. I remember Om. I don't remember the guy who doesn't. There's a guy who's like retarded who doesn't you're not speaking, you're biting your lip. Oops, Kudatsu.
Yeah,
what was the other guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
The last one. That's what I'm talking about. The other guy. It was him. But yeah. But Pop Greens could be mixed with Sky Island, Cloud, Prigoblins for that rapid growth. I don't care for what weapon Usopp gets as long as it ain't Pop Greens. That shit's been asked since post Fishman. Brooke got the 0-point breakthrough fire. There you go. You're going to freeze this.
0-point breakthrough flames.
You're going to be surprised at how many times I bring up Reborn in that Bleach video, by the way. I brought it up more than I realized when I was reading it. But yeah, shout out to Usopp, man. We truly hope he gets his moment. I don't know if you guys had any final things to say on the Usopp stuff.
No, I mean, Usopp is a great character, man. The people that hate on Usopp don't really understand what they're reading. I'm pretty sure he's going to get his moment.
Because honestly, reading the comments when I was rereading One Piece was like, wow. Like, just seeing some of it, like, y'all just do not know what's going on, but it's okay.
I just wanted to say one last thing based on what Pat just said, is that it's okay to dislike or disagree with a character that you like doing something that you disagree with, because they're individual characters. So even if you're like, I didn't like that Usopp did this in this moment, like the Wano moment. I like Usopp as a character. I really do. And a lot of his motivation stuff, I didn't like that he wanted Nami to lie. That's a negative. But it doesn't mean I don't like the character anymore. I just disagreed with him doing that in that one moment. That's okay. You don't, just because you love Zoro or Luffy or Sanji or anybody, doesn't mean you can't. You have to love every single choice and decision they make, and every line of dialogue is okay with you. You're your own person. You can enjoy the character and like the character and still be like, I'm good with him 99% of the time, but I didn't like this one time, like that's okay too.
Crocodile's my favorite character, and I thought he was being a punk. So when Buggy was like, nah, y'all not moving right. We gotta find the treasure, and they were like, oh, don't say it. And I'm like, nah, you're being a bitch right now. Go for I know what your dream is. Go get that. The true leader of Cross Guild.
Targets on their back. They were like, oh fuck, we have to carry 99% of this crew now. Mm-hmm. Fuck. Mm-hmm. They just didn't want the. They didn't want the overtime.
They were being lazy for real.
Yeah, they were so. We know this from the warlords, though. We know Crocodile, Gecko, Moria, Doflamingo. We know from these guys they are literally sitting on their laurels because they're not willing to actually risk their lives to go out and get it because they failed once, so they don't want to do it again. So they're just like, yeah, no, I'm content. I'm content with this shit. So
Yeah,
when
but
they're like,
Moria was
hey,
so
dude, you actually
serious.
have to work
Moria
more
was
than
not
95.
conquering any seas with them bitch ass zombies. What was he thinking?
You're right.
Crocodile had a good
don't
plan.
know.
I need the Pluton to blow up islands with one shot. That's different.
Crocodile was the
Gecko
only
Moria
one motivated
gained
enough to
108
say, yeah.
pounds, lost his entire legs, just gained feet, and said, "Oh, I'm gonna get zombies." You are trash. My God, he is garbage. Actually, I'm not even a hater of Moria in that sense. I'm just like, what were you cooking? That was your plan? Mid.
Yeah.
He was afraid to lose everybody.
Somehow he was a rival to Kaido back in the day. I like to think he actually got weaker from being lazy.
Dofi said, I need that immortality, fam. Did I see the SPs with the Cross Guild? No, tell me. The only thing that I saw was about Hanafuda and Page 1 and Ulti, what's the fucking name in? The other Flying Six was his kid. So,
yeah.
I remembered him from the Ace light novels. I remember Ace beat him. Everyone understands Usopp is just not an enjoyable gimmick to have to deal with for 30 years. I don't think you even see it nearly as much because of how much the story is expanded and how much more characters we have to cover. I feel like Usopp's cowardice isn't something that I see to the same level and the same degree. But as long as it comes full circle to me, I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me personally. I'd actually argue a little bit the Sanji one is starting to grate on me sometimes. That one is starting to, but that's just because it's such a. It's not even Oda's fault. It's just because I see in every like anime, there's always the one perverted character kind of thing. It's more so like a fatigue of the medium in general, like your Roshi, your Master Roshis and etc. It's not even really like a Sanji thing, because that's my boy. Yeah, Yamato one-shotted Who's Who. Who's Who is a bum. But all right. So not the worst generation, but the Supernova specifically, right? I was thinking about each one after like my reread a little bit, and I was thinking about like their role, the growth, the portrayal each journey has on each journey, and the journey that each one has gone on thus far up until this point. So some of them have maybe reached their conclusion. Obviously, I'm kidding with the Kid. I don't think Kid is dead. Obviously, Law's not dead, so we'll see what they do more. But I kind of want to talk about some of them. And
before we get into that, I'm sorry. I need. What's the difference between them again? It was one is just. Go ahead.
What do you mean the worst generation? The worst generation just adds Blackbeard because they were.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Supernovas were all the new pirates that traveled along the same time Luffy entered the Grand Line, but they went through each of their own paths because whatever magnetic field you lock onto, you're likely to go down a set path of magnetic islands as the log post resets. So everyone came from different paths.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, I remember that somebody was.
Teach,
I remember somebody wasn't a supernova, but they were in the worst generation. I was trying to remember who it was, but I couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it I want to start with Uruj for the time being. Then someone else can. Then Griever, you can pick the next one.
The Mahdi Monk.
Is the last time we saw Rouge when Kaido jumped off the balloon terminal? Is that the last time we saw him? What's the last thing we seen a Rouge do? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, to my memory, that's the last time.
Was it not Cracker? Was it Snack he beat?
Yep, it was Snack.
Yeah.
Implicitly stated, but it was him.
Mm-hmm. Because he got demoted. Because there was 4 Sweet Commanders before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then the anime actually extended the scene. I remember now. I want to see more from him eventually. I don't know that if with each arc in the New World we're gonna kind of follow one, because for a little bit we were doing that. But we had Capone, right? Then we had Law was with us for a while. Then Law and Kid, then Basil, Hawkins, and obviously Apu and DS Drake were in that arc, and then now we're with Bonney. So I don't know if we're gonna continue that trend. I think it was just more so because he comes from the sky. I was interested to see how a sky, like a white sea person, comes to the blue sea and how they act in terms of piracy. So I'd argue that it hasn't moved me tremendously yet. But shout out to the Mad D Monk. I don't know if there's any like profound statements to make about him. I don't even think he's going to be super important moving forward. I don't know if you guys disagree with that, though.
I think so.
I think every single supernova will have their time under the sun. I think that we've been going at it with varying degrees of their relevance to the story as well as how strong they are.
Okay.
So we started off with Law, and I mean, we started off with Law only because he was a fan favorite. Like, let's be honest, he was a fan favorite. That's why we started off with him. So like, we had him stay on the crew because he was gonna grow with Luffy in strength and then be relevant to the plot. You know, he kicked things off. Then you introduce Capone during Whole Cake. That's like really towards the beginning of the Yonko saga, because Capone, frankly, is the weakest of all the supernovas. Mm-hmm. So like, he was the one that got it started.
Weaker than Bonney?
And then, yes.
Well, actually, yeah. From what I just saw, yeah, you're right. Keep going.
His hobby should be love making. Don't kill me. Sorry, continue.
We got Hawkins, and we got Kid, and then we got Apu, and Apu sucks, but the whole thing was, trash. Yeah, he betrayed them, so that was his role in being in a Wano, and he didn't even like fight any of the top tiers, so like he would be second place. Hawkins fought Law, he lost. Then he fought
he did save Luffy.
Killer.
For a good point.
Yeah. So I think with Bonney, like, I know people were confused at how she was gonna play into things. And then now we see like she was experimented on. So like, she never even really ate a devil fruit. She's like a product of the world government science trying to manufacture devil fruits and stuff. And then now she's like seeing a Nika future and stuff like that.
Hold on, Pat, before you continue. When she was introduced, did they say her devil fruit name or her power name at the time?
That's what I'm saying. No. She didn't eat one. She was experimented on.
Okay. Yeah, no. I was just wondering, like, if back then, like when Oda introduced her, like, did they give her like a little title card where it says like her power and
he left it blank.
Don't think so.
So I think Orochi's being saved for last because he's the strongest of the Supernova. Because when he was first introduced, he didn't struggle against the pacifista.
He did.
He was fighting that nigga solo.
He was struggling though.
I mean, like, you know what I'm trying to say.
He was definitely getting his ass beat. Then he got ass beat towards Kizaru and said, "God damn it, I'm unlucky."
See, what I think about Uroji is we're probably gonna see him more once we get to the final saga with Blackbeard. Because I like with the stuff with Kaido, I originally thought that he would, like, when we saw him with Kaido, I originally thought he would be more involved with Kaido's crew. But now that we see, like, we've moved past Wano and everything, I just think that when we get to the final war, he'll be more involved then. I don't know if he'll be like on like an alliance of Blackbeard, or if he'll be helping Luffy, or if he'll just be like just on his own. But I just think that once Blackbeard and Luffy start moving closer towards the final goal, Mad Monk will be more involved in that.
Well, is Arouge really the last supernova that we haven't actually seen, like, anything really from yet? Like, what they can do, like what their post time skip, like what their the last one?
Yeah, I would argue yes, because obviously we have Zoro and Luffy removed them. The Capone, Whole Cake Island. Bonnie's with us now. Basil Hawking is dead. Crash Banapoo's trash. Wano again. Kid Wano again. DS Drake Wano again. Uruz. Killer, Wano again, Law, Wano again. Well, Wano just Rosa Punk Hazard. So it's just a Rouge. That's why I want to start with him. I'm like, what you finna do?
Because we saw the rooftop gang. We had Kid Killer, Zoro. We had 5 supernovas up there.
Lizard said he put you and me on One Piece in 2003. Fat.
Huh?
Lizard's in the comments being silly. He said that he put us on One Piece in 2003, but we didn't see the vision at first. You know how he
didn't see the vision, boys.
No, he did. He's lying. We'll continue though. Sorry.
I definitely didn't see the vision though that 4Kids was trying to show me. But
that's facts. Actually, that's fair. That's fair.
Pat, you still know the whole 4Kids opening. No fucking lie to me.
I do.
I like the song. That's the song. Fire. The song's on my phone.
Yeah.
Why did they have like punching glove guns? Like, that wasn't serious.
Yeah, that was. I never understood why 4Kids, who once again they did. Everyone makes fun of 4Kids, but they did so many good anime dub adaptations for the most part. Yeah, they have some changes here and there, but like, they were still really well voice acted.
They were
I like the songs. Good songs.
That's where.
You can't take away some of the guys like having Chris Sabat or Dan Green or Eric Stewart like for Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and shit like that. Like no, those are iconic at this point. You would never recast Seto Kaiba. You'd never recast. You know what I mean? Like so. For everything they did wrong, they did a lot right.
No, fair enough.
Kaiba is the greatest 4Kids character of all time.
There we go.
I did forget that Kid and Arush technically beat Snack off screen. That's true. Snack was maybe that's why. Maybe Snack got another chance. He lost again and said, "All right, he demoted."
Yep.
Snack
Big
was
Mom wasn't
failing.
failure lying down.
With the God Knights trying to take the kids, would any of them recognize Bonney if she was the daughter of a Celestial? Maybe Shamrock. I don't know how many people have the knowledge. Would be watching a Japanese YouTuber who made a convincing argument for Rouge being a God Knight and showing up in Elbaf, then killing him, and the other one showed up. Summers and the Quilin one. Okay. I don't think I said a God Knight vision. That I don't know if that makes sense to me because I guess I'm trying to think about like how the sky people and the world nobles really interact, and I'm also thinking about them coming from the moon. But I gotta think. I'm still like I literally have all the panels of Eneru Space Adventure, and I'm gonna try to see what I can figure out on my own later on. But yeah, Aruj, I'm still waiting. So maybe he comes in the final war. Maybe he's just not important, and it doesn't really happen. I wouldn't be too surprised, but I don't know what's going on with him. But we haven't really seen too much of him recently. All right, Griever, who do you want to talk about next?
Put me on the spot there. Well, we already talked about Scoffer. We talked about all the fun jazz.
Of the Supernova.
Oh, as far as Supernovas.
You can exclude Luffy and Zoro for now. You don't really have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that they're the two goats and stuff like that.
We can get Hawkins out the way, honestly.
All right.
I was wrong.
Right. Here's my thing about Hawkins.
I was wrong.
Yeah, I know you were, and I told you were.
I believed.
Because everyone got on their fucking high horse the moment he used one of his strongest techniques, and Zoro was like, "Oh, blocking it with one sword is tiny bit difficult." Hawkins over Zoro. What the fuck? No bandana, no three-sword, no named attack. But yeah. Zoro, Hawkins over Zoro. Shut the fuck up. I had no
Griever,
time for
that's the rabble. Forget about the rabble. The rabble's opinions don't matter. They're stupid.
I fucking no. Ever since that,
I have never asserted that ever in my life. I knew he would die if he fought Zoro.
I know you didn't. But I was sitting there like, okay. See, in my mind, here's how I separate supernovas from being badasses and being not. Is when push comes to shove. We just discussed this in the Usopp part of things. Who betrayed? Who folded? You could argue that Kid was wrong for doing what he did, and Killer suffered for it. But at least he stood his ground and said, "Fuck the Emperor of the Sea." Listen, we all praise Jinbei for going up there and saying,
"Amir Yonko,
I don't give a fuck whether you're an emperor. My captain is going to be the king of the pirates, so I can't cower in front of you." And her devil sword literally didn't work on this motherfucker. So my point is that you can trash Kid all you want, but when Kaido stepped down, Apu folded, Hawkins folded, Kid said, "Fuck you." Kid is already a part of the Hawkins is a folder. Apu's a folder. Law at least stood up. Law did the same thing. He's like, all right, how am I going to beat Doflamingo to get my revenge? Well, becoming a warlord's a good step, blah, blah, blah. That man was tactical. So respect on Law. Respect on Killer for following his captain, even though he thinks he's wrong. He did the same thing against the red hair pirates. He's like, Captain, no, we shouldn't attack them. Fuck it, we're attacking. All right, fuck's sakes. Killer's he's a loyal first mate. That's his job. It's what he does. So, like, as far as Hawkins goes, yeah, no. Any supernova who folds to an Emperor of the Sea, to a Yonko, no, you're not a supernova anymore. You're down in the dogs. You're down with the dogs. Capone, same idea. Though Capone's got a little bit of an edge because he joined with the intention of betraying. So there was a little bit of conniving going on there. So I give Capone a bit of a break, but yeah.
Well, he infiltrated with the sole purpose of killing Big Mom. We'll get to him in a second though, because I want to talk about big gang guns and niggas in a second. But
Okay.
just for anyone who's never really heard me speak about it. So for a long time, my favorite Supernova was Hawkins. I think he had the third highest bounty in Sabaody after Kid and Luffy, and I liked that I knew he had some type of voodoo strawman ability. I actually still think that ability is really good. I do think it makes you frail though, because you're straw. I think it makes you. I think he's actually very brittle, like very frail. Like that's why he needs the life minus dolls to pass the pain off to somebody else. And I've always asserted that what would make him dangerous is if he gets a life minus doll of somebody on your crew. So let's say he's fighting Luffy and Luffy rocks him and Nami just goes flying across the sunny. I'm like that. So like when I finally kind of got that scenario when he had was it Penguin and Sachi he had the life minus dolls of, was it? When La was in the cage, I was like, "Oh my god, the scenario is here." And it didn't pan out to anything. And you're right, he folded. Like I thought he was trying to play it smart by following the cards and the probability, but he always had every intention of betraying. But like as far as I'm concerned now, he became a beast pirate. And then in that moment, he was no longer a captain and he was no longer suited to truly pursue the One Piece. And then as far as we know, he died. The nigga said, the 1% was me. And I said, wallahi, I'm finished. I'm finished. I couldn't believe he said all that. I said, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he did not impress me versus Killer. I'm like, I thought you were smart. Did you forget he does not have a whole arm? Do you know what happens to you with your ability if someone doesn't have a body part that's cut? Like, come on, bro. So, yeah.
That shit was so crazy.
He did not cook.
He did not cook.
Here's the thing. He got schooled on his own devil fruit ability. Killer knew more about how to take this dude down. Who, by the way, Killer's awesome. Killer is literally the guy who got fucked over the most and is still holding up shit. So good on fucking Killer. But it's just, for me, it's no different than the live chat right now, Nia, saying Kid refused to fold but still got folded. He's trash. No, it's more trash. Listen, you stand up and you say, fuck you, even if you got folded. Luffy got folded 3 fucking times by Crocodile.
I'm not even a Kid fan, but I keep telling people I still think the one shot is disrespectful.
So,
that's just me.
You know, and we didn't actually see how he got folded. He could have done exactly what Luffy did in Curry and got fucking folded. Kaido folded Luffy. We're still behind Luffy. Why is Kid trash? Kid's trash because of his personality and his attitude towards being like, yeah, I'm top. I don't give a fuck. But still, he did the exact same thing Luffy did. We're okay with Luffy.
I think most of us absolutely respect Kid's kind of like, he's similar to Luffy where he's willing to just, become Pirate King or die trying by just kind of bashing his head against the wall until he gets through it, not trying to like sneak, connive, or go under and around it. He'll go through the wall. I don't think I think we've always liked that about him. He just doesn't seem to back it up a lot. And his Haki Haki ability is lacking. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're a conqueror. Show me something. Where is the Haki, bro? Oh my god, he's double fruit merchant.
That man is so dirty.
That is the problem. Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm not here as a big Kid defender.
Listen,
I'm just saying that he's got more respect for me than Apu and Hawkins did by showing up to that meeting and immediately folding because they were faced with a guy. They were faced with a Yonko and they cowered. Jinbei didn't cower. Kid didn't cower. Luffy didn't cower. Zoro didn't cower.
Technically, Apu didn't cower either.
Good Supernova.
Technically, Apu didn't cower either. He was already under Kaido.
Yeah, exactly. The man was a two-faced bitch.
He came there, bitch made.
Yeah, he was already a bitch before he even showed up to the meeting.
I was gonna say, Pat, you can attest to this. When Luffy got one-shotted, I laughed at him too.
Yep.
No one's safe. I kept the same energy with everybody. I laughed at Kid. I laughed at Luffy. When Luffy got knocked off the thing when he told everybody to leave, I laughed at him again. I kept the same energy. Nobody was safe.
Fair. That's fair.
That nigga Luffy said, if I knock him out right now, we don't need the plan. And got smacked.
Bro. I was reading that chapter. I was like, what did he just say? I was genuinely in disbelief. I was like, if we knock who out now?
That's the funniest thing in One Piece right there.
Yeah, man was not ready to go toe-to-toe. Man was just not built. Man was not ready.
I was so. And then it's funny because like you read the chapter and then you see Law. Law's like, what?
Yeah. Are you crazy? Our whole alliance is based on trying to deal with this shit together because we can't do it alone.
Yeah. Love killer. Yo, what's up, Eileen? Now Luffy's trash too, just gets plot armor. I don't like that term. You guys know I hate plot armor. The term.
Oh
He's
God.
allowed to succeed while others
Don't
fail. Look
exist.
at this bozo. Look at that bozo ace. God damn. For real, does that mean Luffy's also trash? Yeah. Yeah. Now who most be trolling? How can I be trolling when I'm just right? Good point, Alan. What did you say, Gumu Gumu? Hold on. I said that's disrespectful. One thing I could always give Kaido, because I'm not even a Kaido hater. I just think that he's gonna get power clipped in a crazy way, the way Katakuri did. We'll talk about that. But no, for the most part, no matter what the hell Luffy did, Kaido was just like, oh, this is lit. Okay, oh shoot, oh nice. Like I just wanted to fight. Like Luffy started turning into a goddamn cartoon, and Kaido just like, I'm just gonna keep smacking you with this fucking bat though. Like
I actually think that.
Hold on, real quick. You know the moment where hold on. You know the moment where like villains start to have that moment of doubt creep into their mind. I'm gonna give you a good example. I'm gonna use my favorite character. Crocodile had no ifs, ands, or buts about him beating Luffy until Luffy kept getting up from the scorpion poison. And then when he said this, like my recent review, like, oh, this is when you really lost. Even if you win, you're not bound. So now even if you win, where the if come from? That's when he stopped believing for sure. That went from 100% to 66. Kaido did not have that moment. And I noticed for the most part of that fight when I reread it, Kaido does not dodge anything. He takes everything head on. He takes everything head on.
He takes every hit.
He takes everything head on for
the one time he dodged, Luffy was like, "Oh, you dodging? Why you dodge?"
And he got a 3-round Ragnarok to his fucking blood clot.
And when Big Mom literally had to shout it out, "Fucking dodge, you idiot!" That's gonna hurt.
What do you say? You think Kaido's biggest what? Luffy's what?
I think Kaido was Luffy's favorite enemy.
Favorite?
He had the most fun fighting him.
Because it's straight up like ape shit. Like no monkey stuff, no trickery, no nothing.
Yeah,
no color trap, no weird abilities, just hands. Straight up fight, you know? Haki and
like when he was fighting Katakuri, he was throwing hot Gatling and he wasn't connecting. And he was like, "What?" Like, I'm using Haki, but I'm not hitting him. And I was reading it too. I was like, what happened? Like, he's using Haki. And
all right, Johnny, you take care, man. Sorry, continue. Come back and watch the rest later.
Well, Kaido, he was just throwing punches. And then Kaido was throwing his club, hitting him right back.
Yep. Yeah. Kid knew he couldn't win against Kaido, yet still fought against him. Respect. Kaido's line after left me in stitches. But yeah. But
I'm not gonna lie, nothing about Kid told me that he knew he couldn't be Kaido. The confidence he displayed up there on that route made me think he had something for him. Or at least he thought he had something for him.
He had the Tuli.
But yeah, Hawkins, I don't know if you guys want to chime in, but yeah, he I actually hope he's just dead. Just don't come back. Just be dead. We don't need you. You tricked me, magician. Disappear. That's a magic trick I want to see from you. Disappear from my sight. Anyone have anyone they want to chime in on, or want me to just keep going? Just keep picking because.
I would like to just say one quick thing about X Drake. A lot of people shitting on X Drake from what I remember when reading Wano, and I'm like, nah, man. I like the infiltration. I like the idea that he's in over in his head and stuff like that, obviously. But X Drake did everything he could to maintain. He got into one of the top echelons of a Yonko crew, just like Capone did. So this is almost a double feature for X Drake and Capone. Respect. They both were working trying to fucking undermine both of these Yonko crews, but they were smart enough and to know, unlike Luffy and Kid, like as Naya pointed out, smash my head against a brick wall until it breaks. They were smart enough to go, you know what? I know I don't in a straight on fight. I know I can't win. So how else can I win? These boys were thinking outside
He's also
the
a part of
box.
Sword, so he's still a Marine, you know. So
Exactly. And he's still, then the reveal that he's part of Sword and stuff like that. I was like, let's go. Let's go.
But CP0, he's garbage. I don't respect them. Sorry.
Speaking of those plans, like, do y'all think that without Luffy's involvement, do you think Capone Base would have still got that assassination plan off?
No, but it was still, he obviously had things in the works.
He would have
Straw Hats dropping into his lap was a fortunate opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he used them as pawns for his plan. It was still Capone's plan. Luffy got the credit. That's why everyone's making the gag and was pissed at the end of the arc. But he did use them. It was his plan. It was his setup. It was his infrastructure. He was just playing chess.
He just directed the rocket.
Exactly.
And ultimately, nobody beat Big Mom then. That wasn't the arc to beat Big Mom.
Yeah,
so she was regardless.
No one beat it.
Yeah. DS Drake doesn't move me.
Jinbei got a Haki win. Her devil fruit wouldn't work on him. That was fucking solid. That was a fucking win.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on DS Drake. It's more so like, do we think that through Sword he'll continue to play a role in some capacity and maybe be like a background Rear Admiral Marine or something? So. Like, that's all I can really think for him, because like I don't care for him. I don't care for his ability. I don't think he looks cool. I don't like nothing about him moves me. He lost to CP0. Like, I just think like, I got the fucking ancient Zoan, so I got the defense. I'm like, bro, you getting poked in the neck. You are garbage.
That's a prediction. The next time we see X Drake, he is going to be third command under Helmeppo. Yes, you heard that right. He will be under Helmeppo.
No.
Under, you said.
Captain Cutlass Arm Helmeppo. Okay, yeah.
Brother, Helmeppo is like 3 ranks below DS Drake in the Marines.
that was the last time we saw him. That was just the last time we saw him. Wait till you see my boy again. My boy.
Come on,
wow.
Bro.
Wow. All I can say is just wow.
And he's still below DS Drake.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say about him, but he's never in any capacity ever moved me, and I don't care to see him again. That's just me though.
I think he'll surprise you. I
don't think he will, but if he does, I'll let you know. I'll be the first to tell you. You were right.
He'll do more. He'll do more than Apu and Hawkins. How about that?
Okay.
I mean, he's alive, so
yeah.
I can't argue that. I can't refute that one.
Yeah.
You guys want to rag on Apu?
Ryan, how Apu's power, you could just block your ears for that shit, bro. That's so insane.
That is the crazy. That is
he sucks.
Like,
do you guys remember how excited I was to see how auditory attacks would mix with Haki? And I'm like, wait, I can just cover my ears? Forget soundproof headphones or something. Or like was Roshinante using like, his ability, right? Or like La using the silent room. I could just put my hands over my ears and you can't hurt me. You are actually garbage. You should get
trash, man.
I still just don't see how I just don't see how like vibrations can affect like your body. Like how Jinbei's attacks can hurt Luffy. Like, I don't see how like sound could just do something, through, I don't know. Like,
because he's garbage. He does not refine his abilities. The nigga is trash. He has no hockey feet, no speed feats, no durability feats.
Hey, he does have a banger though.
His music's not even good.
Hold on. He said I could use arm and hockey too, dumbass. Hold on. Apu might be kinda not. I'm joking. Let me stop.
I was to say him and Queen do have a banger together.
They have a hit song, they have a hit record. Sound waves blocking certain attacks makes sense, but blocking everything is stupid. Like I could understand the certain abilities you'd have to hear, and I would think you would need to truly like block out the sound completely. But to just be like, I'll just run and put my hands over my ears. Like, if I put my hands over my ears, the world's muffled, but I can still hear shit. That's garbage. He did nothing. But Apapa, check her out. That was Rado. That's still a funny ass scene from Sabaody. That's all I got for him. I don't want to see him again either. I feel like he could play a role just because I know the long arm and long leg tribe have been in like a war for like the whole of One Piece, and I wonder if he in some capacity plays a role in that. But I don't know. Aside from that, I got nothing else to say about Apu. I don't like him. He disappointed me. I thought sound attacks were gonna be a problem.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe he knocked out Luffy. That shit had me. That shit hurt my feelings. I said, bro, don't fight.
Yeah,
I said don't fight Kaido. I said that moment. I said don't fight Kaido. Don't fight him.
Zoro used one sword style and fucking took him out, and it just said, "Fuck you. I'm done with this shit." So once again, the problem is the inconsistency because we had literally devil fruits affecting Law's crew, and Law was like Haki up, didn't affect them. Why were they not able to do that against Poops? You know.
They didn't know yet. They didn't know yet. They learned that when Law couldn't displace them because of the Haki that Big Mom and
Law's crew isn't bad.
Fair.
Law's crew showed me they're not completely useless when they were fighting with Blackbeard's crew. I'm not gonna say they're like on the level of like Luffy's crew or anything, but they're not the worst.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I wouldn't compare anybody to Straw Hat. That's not
crew is awful.
No, Kid's crew was a bunch of posers. Oh yeah, we're ready.
They actually suck.
You guys are riled up. Let's get it. Shanks, please. Up, Shanks. No, take her upon us. And that's crazy. Go out swinging. That's what Kid would have done. And that's what he did. He went out swinging. What did you guys do, bitch, and whine? And even when a Big Mom had them, Big Mom, please stop hurting our captain.
Yeah, them niggas are a disgrace. I don't know why Kid rolls around the seas with them.
Killer is the only teammate he has, bro. And you're right, Ryan. Killers with his sound scythe ability did more work than Apu's literal sound Devil ability. Facts. Street saying Apu beating Shanks though. No one in the street said that once in their life. Not even you. You didn't even say that.
You need to be arrested if you say something like that. Even as a joke, it should be illegal to say something like that.
They're saying the kid from the shooting exam had better sound attack tech than Apu. Is so fortunate. If you want real sound users, just look at Sorrento and Orphe from Saint Seiya. Hey, my shorty long arm, she beat my from 10 feet. Remember when they were cooking? They're cooking Sanji. Yep. Offering up the poneglyph when they were basically sunk was crazy work. Don't give my issue away. I'm jumping in the ocean with that or something. You gotta just take it from me. Like the adventure's over. I'm going down swinging. Yeah. So enough of him. I actually want to give Killer credit. Shout out to Killer. I like him. You. I like him. He's dope. He's solid.
Killer's good. Killer is a good character.
Yeah.
Killer is a good character, and he got fucked over the worst. And he's still loyal to his crew, like that man. Yeah, and the worst part is that's why he covered his mouth and stuff. He hated his laugh, and the smile. It's literally the irony and the fact that the man hated his voice and hated his laugh, and now he's forced to laugh. Like, my God! And instead of being pissed at Kid, he just like, fuck it, still following him. You know, like that's loyalty. That's friendship.
That's a real ride or die right there.
That's right. That's a ride or die right there. And we know he's strong. He was part of the rooftop gang. He injured Zoro.
He's the only other Supernova that's not a captain, along with Zoro.
Yeah, he's the only. That's right. So I mean, like, look at this man. Look at this man and tell me that he's not badass. Plus, his design is fucking badass.
I want to see his face.
We've seen his face.
Have we? As a kid?
Yeah.
As a kid? You mean? Or like,
no.
Like we seen Killer's entire face? What?
Yeah, he was bandaged up, but we saw his eyes and his face when he fucking fought Zoro on the bridge.
Oh, I want the full face reveal. No coverage. Take the mask off.
Take the mask off.
Don't eat the spaghetti through the holes. I want to see the whole face.
We've seen his eyes. We've seen his hair.
We've seen it.
I remember before. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I was just saying, I remember like when before like Sanji's whole backstory was explored, there was like a theory going around that Killer was was one of Sanji's brothers. And I actually kind of
like because they have blonde hair. Oh my God!
I mean that was literally it. But I was like, I kind of like.
Come on now.
Like I like they did them to be brothers. I don't really care about the reason behind it. I was like, that would have just been cool. Like if they met up and they were related. But I like German 66 a lot more anyway. So
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
The way these people in the One Piece community craft these theories and then have such weak logic and reasoning behind it.
I think wasn't I think at the time people thought Killer was from the North Blue, or is Killer from North Blue?
him
Like,
and
I
him
don't
and him and him and Kid are from the same place. They both came from, I think, South.
Yeah, they're from the South Blue.
Let me make sure, but I'm pretty sure they're both from South Blue. I think they grew up together. They like the same girl at one point. I remember that.
Yeah, because Law is from the North Blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's from South Blue because La was the one. I think one of the other people who knew certain things like the Germa, because the Germa was like a more of a North Blue tale. So yeah.
Yeah,
South
North
Blue.
folk tale.
Yeah. You said we One Piece, nice.
Nah,
yes.
that was definitely the funniest gag in Wano. Every time that Sanji put on the suit, somebody from the North Blue like, no way, bro.
Like it was real.
It was killing me.
I still wish he kept that raid suit. I won't lie to you, but it's okay. I'm not mad at him.
No, me too.
I'm not mad at him that because of the power up he got. That was fire. I actually really think Oda cooked with his power up. Like I thought it made so much sense for that to awaken some of his like dormant genes. Because yeah, that
like it felt weird. Put that hoe on, like my body feeling weird.
Yeah, I prefer that actually because so many people are saying, oh, now that we've introduced Scopper, he's going to unlock his Conqueror's Haki. And I'm like, I'm not saying I'm against Sanji getting Conqueror's Haki. I'm saying it's a little too soon. And I like the idea of the difference. Luffy is got the 3 types of Haki, but he's also got the OP Devil Fruit. Then we have Zoro, who has no Devil Fruit and just hard work, but focusing on his armament, and then unlocked Conqueror's Haki through Odin's Blade and stuff like that. Or it was always within him, but it unlocked, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then we have Sanji, who has both armament and observation Haki, but now he's evolved with his exoskeleton, with his Germa tech and stuff like that. And now that has boosted him up to a similar level. Like, we have different directions on a skill tree, you know what I mean? And I like that.
And that's what I was kind of saying earlier about like I don't think everyone has to have advanced conquerors necessarily. Like I like that you can get to the top of the mountain, so to speak, or like, you know, the pinnacle of power in One Piece, but you can take different routes there. But yeah, I'm not against Sanji getting it. I still kind of think he will. I don't know for a fact, but I kind of think he will. But that's just me.
I think he will, just off like all the parallels to Roger that we've been doing, like all the conquerors that were on his ship at one point in time. But I'm not really like pushing for it. Like I feel like he plays his role just fine without it.
Mm-hmm. I don't really. I'm not against him getting it, but like also feel like the drive to be like the king, or like I don't know, like the drive of being a conqueror. Like Sanji doesn't really have that.
Well, there's that, but there's also like Conqueror's Haki manifests itself into people that have like royalty in their veins as well. So like since he's a German prince, like, it could make sense, but
yeah. No, I mean, if he gets it, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it if he does get it. It's just that I feel like most of the time it still has to fall back on like lineage, like how you're saying, and like that drive to be the best at something. Like if Sanji's already the greatest cook in the world, if he was gonna have Conqueror's Haki, he would have it.
Yeah.
The suit
and
Sora playing and hoping Frankie and Lilith are cooking up something for him in the background. Lilith made it. He's putting that on. He would put it on. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, no, I actually 100% agree with both those points, and the fact that like I don't think anybody would have a problem if Sanji unlocked Conquerors, but from all the Conquerors we know, they all have the drive to be the best in some aspect. And Sanji, who has always been like, I'm a great cook, blah, 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 but his goal is not to be the best cook in the world. It's to find the All Blue, to cook the food from the All Blue, not necessarily to be the best cook in the world, but just to find the All Blue. So, once again, it's the same way you could argue, why do warlords not have conquerors? Why do some? So, yeah, I like the manifestation. Zoro makes sense because he wants to be the greatest swordsman in the world. Mm-hmm. You know? So that one makes sense. Luffy's makes sense because he wants to be king of the pirates. Sanji can keep up to a degree with his own level of Haki plus with the German tech. I'd be good with that, you know?
So would I.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with that. I mean, even if with the even numbers and blah, 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 what they're saying, I think we can still say that even if it's only a 1%, it still goes Roger, Rayleigh, Scopper. So it's okay for it to still go Luffy, Zoro, Sanji as far as a fighting practice go, no matter how close those numbers are. That's okay, So I don't see a problem with the Monster Trio just having different avenues towards being the best.
I'm with you.
I think it's more preferred that way.
What about Guns and Niggas, Capone Bedje? I actually really enjoyed his role in Whole Cake Island. I thoroughly enjoyed him. Him and Pez, his son. It's not Lola.
This is how your father does things.
Was he with Lola or the other twin? What's her name? What are their names again?
Chiffon.
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 There you go. Lola was the one from Thriller Bark. There we go. But yeah, yeah, man. It's just like I don't know what he does moving forward though. Like I can't really particularly think of a role for him, except like helping in the final war type beat. But I'll always give him this credit. I had no interest in him in any capacity, and by the time I was done Whole Cake Island, I'm like, I like this guy. He's a solid dude. I like him. I like he got my respect by the end of the arc. I think he made me laugh a lot too. I can't even lie to you. When they shot Big Mom, that shit did not work. And the fact that his I don't remember his ship's name. It's not coming to me right now, but I like that it can go on land. That was tough. When the ship went on land,
the Nostra Costello.
There we go. Yeah, that was tough. So it's just I don't know what he does later on. It's just we'll have to see. I don't know what he's doing right now.
Man, just out here on that father line.
Like offensively, you just can't hang with what's going on in the story right now.
He's a military might merchant, like it's because of the numbers and people that he has and stuff, but like he's not particularly super like Big Castle, Big Father is cool, but it's like it's still like not that great.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we introduced him first, as far as like, a one-off thing with like each supernova per arc, because great defensive capabilities with being able to use Big Father, but
damn, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, go finish your point, Pat.
No, I was just saying, offensively, like he's not doing anything that's really impressive.
Yeah. Just adding on to that. Now I'm thinking about it. Like, Oda introducing him first is that he was a heavy devil fruit user. We didn't really see much Haki from him though. Yeah. And like now, as we're moving forward in the story, we're getting a lot more Haki. I see like why Oda, went ahead and moved him out of the way. Which now that I'm thinking about it, going backwards, thinking of Furuji, I'm wondering like maybe if his Haki is insane, if he's going to be a bigger player towards the end.
I don't think so. I don't think Gabon's gonna. I think he might just be like one of the people in the war that just kind of ally himself with Luffy because of their past or something, or not wanting the world government or Marines to win whatever happens in the final war. But it's again, I could be wrong. It's hard for me to see one for him. I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is that Kobe is getting Conqueror soon. I wouldn't be mad at it. Shout out to my boy Kobe, Pink Mamba.
I can see it.
Yeah, Rayleigh and Scopper was deaf along the ride with Roger. We got no hint of them having things they wanted to achieve for themselves. Shout out to standing forward category. I almost said Big Father. I need a whole cake reread. Isn't it called Big Father? The castle mode?
Yeah, it's Big Father.
Yeah, you're right. And he threw out the gang signs, shows off the jewelry, and then he turns into bricks.
He definitely threw up some gang signs.
The fact that in Baratie, Sanji seeing Luffy and Zoro fighting tooth and nail being what pushed him to go see, I think Whitebeard was the only outlier it can happen. As far as we know, Rayleigh and Scopper are both outliers along with Whitebeard and Katakuri.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that earlier. Like, we don't really know
Katakuri's dream and goal, and he was under somebody. But again, he was kind of like the second strongest, not her first kid. But I don't know that he had some grand ambition to conquer anything. I don't necessarily think. I do think that helps, but I don't know that that's the criteria. We'll just have to see it when it's all said and done. But
I just want to say really quick. I just really want to say that as far as how to conquer, Rayleigh wanted to conquer the literal emperor of the empress of the seas, and Gabon wanted to show him up and conquer a bigger, badder woman. So they're both conquerors in my brain. I don't know, boys, but
that man conquered the dueling peaks.
Imagine getting the castle free but having no friends. That's hilarious. Worse than the jacket fruit. That's actually funny. Like imagine you had no one to put in there. Yeah. If he had some demons on his crew, like a Gin or something, even just like I know Gin is not strong, but you know Don Creed had a Gin, maybe like someone could pop out and do something, but they just have guns. These guns and niggas. That's all it is. It's okay though. Shout out to him though. He's funny. He fun. He was good.
That's all you need. Guns and niggas got him through Whole Cake Island.
Yeah. Has anybody's opinion? I don't know how. The only Bonney fan I've ever known is Laz. So I don't know if anybody.
So man, he's the only one, bro.
I have never met a Bonney. He's the only Bonney fan I've ever met, right? So I don't know that we had any large expectations for Bonney when we first was introduced to Bonney, and then I know we started to know there was more to her character when Akainu pulled up and she was still not captured and stuff, and he said what he said. But like, has anybody opinion of her changed over the course of what happened? And like now we know she's actually 12, related to Kuma, all those things. Like, what do we? And she's Guinea's child as ties to Revolutionary. Like, what do we think about Jewelry Bonney?
Yeah, I mean, not that I know for sure that she is a literal child. My opinion has definitely softened up on her. She's had a hard life. I don't think any child should have to go through what she's gone through. As far as like the Nika stuff, I'm definitely like interested to see what kind of role she's gonna play in the final war, because she's definitely going to be like a major player going forward with the God's Knights and things like that. But for now, I'm just reserving judgment for future appearances and whatnot.
I mean, I'm sitting here going that like Jewelry Bonney, her motives for going to, like as Pat just said, everything makes sense knowing that she's like a 12-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. Everything sort of falls into line. So any bad decision, quote unquote, you can actually now chalk up, and it's not a cop out to do this, but you can chalk it up to her being a 12-year-old just trying to get her daddy back.
Yep.
She's not a master, tactician. She's up against the world, and all she wants is the thing that the celestial dragons are literally holding over her and stuff, and her whole life. And it's just like, you know what? Like, I don't think there's a single wrong decision that a 12-year-old wouldn't have already made. Like, Jewelry Bonney literally did everything. And she's not some hardened child soldier from, like, Iraq, you know what I mean, either. So she's like, she's just a girl. She was raised in a church, for fuck's sakes. So, yeah, my opinion on her, obviously, I didn't give a fuck about her before. And now with Egghead, and my opinion has 100% changed. I think that Kuma's backstory is actually officially now the saddest in the entire series. And because because unlike everyone else who has like one big bad event that gives them like 5-6 years of suffering, he has like 4 to 5 bad events with 40 years of suffering. So,
yep.
Yeah, like this man has the saddest backstory. I don't give a fuck how sad Brooks is. I don't give a sad how Robbins is or Nami. I don't give a fuck. Kuma suffered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking times. Every decade, it's like this man hits a new decade, and all of a sudden he gets fucked over again. But, it's like this poor bastard just wants to live a happy family life. Leave him the fuck alone. So with Jewelry Bonney instead, and look at this man. It's something that so many people cannot do. It's something that I'm not willing to do. Is be a stepfather. That is one of the hardest things to fucking do, especially when it's from the woman you love. It's not your kid, and she fucking dies. So now you have zero support, and you're taking care of a kid that you have no obligation and no attachment to, other than it's from the woman that you love. Like, the man is got to be the best father in One Piece, period, on top of all the shit. Like, so, like, Jewelry Bonney, like, I know this is mostly about Kuma, but Jewelry Bonney is just like, this kid was beloved, and she could have been left on the side of her. Like, there was a million wrong things that went wrong for her, and Kuma made sure she had a childhood. Kuma made fucking sure that this girl grew up that didn't have to be a child soldier, who didn't need to be a hardened person by the age of 12. You know what I mean? So he did everything in his power, and it's so inspiring. It's so great. And I'm totally fine with, like Pat said about the Nika stuff. I'm good with the Nika stuff because so many people are like, oh, you could just, but like, that's her whole thing. Without Luffy there, I doubt she can envision, and her power is the exact same. Once again, she gets petered out very quickly. Her ability to just Luffy inspired, and once again, Luffy's whole thing. Mihawk said it back in Marineford. Luffy's most dangerous weapon is not his Haki. It's not his devil fruit. It's his ability to get everyone to believe in him, to get everyone on his side, his way of thinking. So Bonney
best thing Mihawk ever did.
Doing that. So Bonnie, literally all she's doing is taking the energy and the vibe off of Luffy and being able. I doubt she can go into that form at will without Luffy there. I completely don't think she can do it. So it's totally fine that she was able to pull off a Nika version against literally a man who caused her daddy living hell for 40 years. I'm not fucking surprised. You know, that doesn't bother me. I don't know why it bothers people. The Nika thing didn't bother me at all. Plus, she knew about Nika before Luffy fucking did. So realistically,
Luffy still don't even know about Nika.
Yeah, Luffy still doesn't know what the fuck a Nika is. So, like, yeah, I'm good with it. No, Bonnie's fine. Bonney grew on, I think, everybody with the egghead thing, and that's why I'm gonna allow, like, the wait time, like Naya, you were saying earlier about X-Drake, like, I'm not interested, I don't care, blah blah blah. I'm still waiting for Oda because I had the same opinion about Jewelry Bonney since she was introduced up until Egghead. Don't go, oh, she's kept by a Kainu. Oh, Blackbeard there. Oh, I don't give a fuck. Who is this? Don't care. She eats a lot. Don't give a fuck.
I acknowledge Bonnie's importance, and I think Bonney will probably end up with the Revolutionaries or something, and whatever. Like, I think she'll just follow Kuma. If Kuma gets, like, his memory back from Vegapunk and everything, I think she'll just go with her dad. But I don't like Bonney anymore, any less since Sabaody. It's completely stayed the same. Nothing has changed for me.
Did you dislike her? I guess my question: did you dislike her before, though?
No, I don't hate Bonney.
Right. Exactly.
My opinion's pretty neutral.
I just appreciate her more now that I know her full story. I appreciate her more as a character. So any action that she took in Egghead, I understand it, and I don't dislike it because it just makes sense now.
I don't like the Nika is future thing. It bothers me. I don't like it. That's just me, though. I'm over it, but I don't like it. It bothered me. Felt like
what is it about it that
it felt like a very special power that Luffy got because he's supposed to be like Joy Boy
I see.
I don't even really know how he unlocked it himself, and like it's like the most ridiculous power in the world, and I'm like, I don't like that she was able to even somewhat copy it to some ability. I get her Devil Fruit isn't exactly, or power isn't exactly what we thought it was necessarily, but I don't know. It just didn't move me. Like I saw it and I was like, ew, I don't like that.
But it's not like so many people see that it's not really Nika. It's not really. She is just imitating what she perceives. If I'll put it this way, if Luffy's form was not white, her Nika form wouldn't be white. Do you know what I mean? She is perceiving what Luffy as being Nika is, so she manifests herself based on Luffy's look, appearance, and how he is behaving. It's not based. If Luffy's whole thing was to turn into the castle like Capone, and that was the Nika form, her Nika form would not be white and would not be a giant toon fist. It would literally be the Capone castle. She is only, her perception is based off of Luffy completely. That's why I'm not mad at it, because it could have been anything. If Zoro was Nika, she would have grown 3 swords. It would have been fine. You know what I mean? So it's okay the way it's handled, because it's not the true Nika. She doesn't have the power of Nika all of a sudden. She just has the power to manifest her dreams and what she perceives as power, which is very dangerous on its own. It's very powerful, but it's still not Nika's power. She's not going to see Conqueror's Haki and actually have Conqueror's Haki, you know? So it works for me.
I think I'm fine with it because she can only do it in spurts.
Yep.
What if she needs
because she's still just a child.
Well, what if she needs that one hit? I don't know. I'll see how it plays out. But again, I acknowledge her importance, and like I think she's gonna have a. I think out of a lot of these supernovas, she can have one of the bigger roles. So we'll see what this child does later on. All right. Well, actually, wait. Did we do pretty much everybody except Law and Kid?
Yeah, but I mean, do we really need to talk about Long?
That's why I was gonna say yeah, we don't have to do those two for the time being. I want to do the ones that we haven't. Mute when you're not thing Alan, because I can hear whoever that is.
No, that's me. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just leave them for now because I want to get into Pat's topic, which was kind of like a pre-time skip versus a post-time skip. Not necessarily versus, but like a contrast and comparison, talking about it, what's different, what's the same, what's better and or worse, similar, and things like that. And I don't know if you had somewhere you wanted to jump off from. Pat, do you want to start somewhere specifically?
Yeah. So I was just saying, like, you know, the One Piece community, to begin with, they kind of like they look at post time skip and pre time skip, and they're just like, oh, I like one more than the other, or this is worse than what we saw before. And it's just like, I think sometimes we just need to take a step back and then just like realize that both of them should be appreciated in a vacuum. What I mean by that is like, so I like to use this type of analogy now, where it's like post time skip is like being an adult. Mm-hmm. In order to do things that you like to do, you have to sift through a lot of bullshit in order to enjoy the stuff that you like, right? Mm-hmm. And pre-time skip is like being a child. You get spoon-fed a lot of things against your will that you don't know if you really like yet, and you're kind of like have your hand held as to what you appreciate. And like before you get older, you don't know what you like or what you dislike. So it's like everything that you take in at first is like it's brand new, it's fresh, and you kind of have a different type of appreciation for it. Mm-hmm. Actually, so I think sometimes people need to just step back and like appreciate what exactly it is that's being conveyed to them.
That's an interesting way of looking at it, because like the way that I've always seen it, right? Because when I was kind of reading some of the comments sometimes, because every once in a while I'll just check comments to see what some people the rabble are saying, and usually I'm disappointed. But even when I was reading the Davy Back fight, when people are just like, oh, I'm suffering through this arc to get to Ennius lobbies and Water 7, and like even Thriller Bark being like, oh my goodness. Like the one thing I will say about, I think, diehard One Piece fans, they're like, anybody who skips Skypiea actually has no functioning brain cells and you're an idiot. But they still think things like the Davy Back fight and Thriller Bark are skippable. And I remember continuously seeing really bad takes on that. And like, it's something that I find is pretty common with a lot of manga readers, where they disrespect the beginning of the series a lot, or like the earlier stuff, like, oh, Syrup Village is trash. And it's like, these are the pillars, the foundation for which all the things that you like later on, like Roger and Whitebeard clashing, to be built upon. If you don't have this build up there, you don't get that. So to me, it's weird to appreciate the hypeness if you didn't go through, like Pat kind of said, like the work. If the first page I saw was Roger and Whitebeard clashing, it wouldn't move me the same as me actually seeing Roger and Odin go on that adventure with both of these pirates and getting to that moment. Like, you have to appreciate the journey and the build up to these reveals, to these lore drops, to these information dumps. And the one thing that I personally appreciate much more about the pre-time skip is just the paneling, the artwork, and I actually and I think the fights are generally better and they fight a bit more. I do think he's gotten not messy as in I can't follow the paneling. He's just gotten very wordy. He's yapping a lot now. I actually feel like Yoda's become a bit of a yapper in his in his manga. I would say Wano did it the most. I actually don't think Elbaf has been too bad yet, but there's certain things about the post time skip I like more, like Haki. Like I can never get over. Like, I love seeing Haki, like in black and white, especially. I think it looks even a little bit cooler than it does in color. I don't know if anyone agrees with that. And then just seeing like the fruits of like I say fruits of our labor, not like we're working on the manga, but you know what I mean, like the things that I've sat years for to see and wait come to fruition later on. And I don't think you can have that appreciation if you don't respect the beginning of the series, because I do see a lot of downplay now. The One Piece community is very weird, but now I'm seeing a lot of pre-time skip downplay, which is crazy to me. The same way I couldn't believe I saw Roger slander when they said Scott Gaban and Rayleigh stood toe to toe with him, yada yada. And they're like, he's the equal man, equal to Garp, equal to Rayleigh and Thing. Oh, I'm like, bro, we equal to Whitebeard. I'm like, y'all slandering Roger? This is unserious. I can't take y'all seriously. That man is goated forever. So, one thing I do think the post. Sorry, real quick. Last thing. I may happen. The last thing. One thing I do think the post time skip has done better was kind of. I think a lot of the character work when a character is being focused on, like Sanji and Whole Cake Island, has been a little bit better. Like I really like. I really like. My boy was going through it. I don't like what he went through, but I said, damn, this is some powerful stuff. Like they try to take everything away from him and threaten Zeph, his real dad, our best dad, better than Kuma. All right, I'm done. I'm done for now. That's my first lap.
As far as I'm concerned, pre-time skip. I see the problem with the pre-time skip versus post-time skip argument is, you imagine if this had been done like the animes, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto Shippuden. Let's call a spade here. Bleach didn't have that, so it doesn't get cut in half, but I'm sure people do post Soul Society or post Aizen as a second half. So my biggest problem with this is that it's one fucking series. It's one fucking story. Why am I comparing? Like, I can break it down arc by fucking arc, sure, and I can say this is my favorite. But when I watch a show, or why I watch a movie and I go, this is my favorite part of the movie, I don't mean that the other parts of the movie are shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's one fucking movie. So my big thing about this is that, yes, do I think that pre-time skip has a lot better character development moments and bigger character moments and better arcs overall? Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. But I also think that post-time skip has, as Naya, you pointed out, better art, better fights, and just overall better, sometimes even.
I genuinely think pre-time skip is funnier. I think there's more comedy. I don't think the post-time skip is unfunny in any capacity. I laugh more. I found myself laughing more at pre-time skip jokes.
I think the reason is A, we're running a lot of the same jokes for now 25 years, mm-hmm. but also it's that it's almost the difference between, okay, you're a junior high student, now you're a high schooler, or you were a teenager, now you're an adult. Like, just like Zoro has constantly kept telling Luffy, even in Punk Hazard, what the fuck were you doing clowning around with Caesar? He should be dead by now. We are in the new world. Get your fucking act together. Mm-hmm. This ain't a children's game. Zoro has always been serious, but now literally they cannot joke around. These are the high stakes. These are people trying to kill them. Like, New World is different. It is built different. And now we're into the post-time skip and we're in the New World, and it is built different. It's higher stakes, higher rewards, higher goals. So I think we get a tone shift, sure, but that's only because we went through some of the most emotional moments in the series are still pre-time skip. So the idea that post-time skip is just, like, I view it as one story. I look at it to, sure, like, oh, I like this arc better than this arc, yada, yada, yada. But I look at it as one fucking story. So for me, the argument pre versus post is the same argument for Naruto versus Naruto Shippuden, Dragon Ball Z, and
it's all one narrative. I got you. Your argument makes sense because I've used that argument for Avatar, for Korra and Aang, so I kind of feel.
Thank you. It's just, to me, it's one big story. Just because the Bleach anime was canceled unceremoniously for fucking like 10 years and now came back doesn't mean that this couldn't basically be episode 371. You know what I mean? It's still the same crew, the same voice actors, the same fucking story. It's Bleach. It's not Bleach Anime 1 and Bleach Anime 2. It's the same fucking series. You know, so I'm sick and tired of that argument, and I don't like it in the One Piece community. I don't like it in any community. I don't give a fuck if there's a time skip in my series. It's still next week. There's still a manga chapter next week.
Just a side note, like I think the only series I could think of that would actually work on would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the very first Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero versus the remake when they made it about the cards.
Right?
Even
Yeah.
Still, like
maybe JoJo,
even still, like in the manga, that's all
one.
Even
parts to some
like,
degree,
in the manga,
maybe?
that's still one story.
But even like JoJo's after part 3 or part 4 or whatever, but whichever one where they literally, all right, none of the original characters here. There's no Dio, there's no JoJo, there's no bullshit. It's like, oh, okay, well this is kind of a new part. So yeah, if you split it up into parts, or you do a different thing, or like
you can't
just
have
brought
no
up
JoJo,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
by the way. There's always a JoJo.
Yu-Gi-Oh's 5Ds has
I just took that
in.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah. But Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds has nothing to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Kingdom, right? There's no Yugi's not there, Joey's. There's no Millennium items. There's none of that shit. So it's like, okay, fine, dandy. We're using the same concept. We're still following the same world, but we're in a different point. We're in a different story. We're different characters. Okay, like that's fine, but that's not what One Piece is doing. That's not what Dragon Ball did. That's not what any of them did. So I'm just that's why I'm not about the argument.
I like that you don't subscribe to it. Actually, I like that. I like that.
Anyway, that's my take. I
wish I was a better man. I literally just rewatched Skypiea, and that arc is so heat to me now. When I was younger, I wasn't high on Skypiea because I hated how the final battle with Enru ended, which was affecting my enjoyment. Really? Yo, him ringing him with the bell was so raw to me, to the point where Cricket and the other salvaging brothers heard it down from Jaya. I really loved that moment. To elaborate with Luffy getting trapped with the golden ball and having to reclaim the giant jack. I feel that. Roger slander be killing me. They be slandering the most certified man in the series. I love pre-time skip jokes. Luffy and Sanji's impression of Skypiea with the that was funny, yeah. You know what joke really, for some reason, it really got me this time? There's two. I'll tell you two that really got me. One was when it's from the same part. It's when Duval gets introduced. Oda, I know Oda was cackling when he made Duval, bro. I know he was in there wiping tears of laughter because that shit was so funny. That Sanji's wanted poster looked before we got a picture looked like somebody real and ruined his life. That shit was, for some reason, I laughed so hard this time. But
that is hilarious. That's what's funny.
But the other part that killed me is how everyone was conflicted because like, oh, it's Hachi, and Luffy was like, but the takoyaki though. He wanted that. He wanted those takoyaki so badly. His eyes turned into it, like how Nami's eyes turned into berries, and I was dying of laughter, bro. It was so funny to me. I don't know if I just never really paid attention to that joke like earlier in my reads, but it got me this time because Luffy's like, I suppose we'll go save the takoyaki. I mean, Hachi. He did not care about saving that nigga like that at the moment. Obviously, they became cool later, but at the moment, all he wanted to do was eat some fucking food, bro.
Nah, it's funny because after they saved him and then Hachi was making it for him, and then he was so excited to eat it that he looked back at Nami and was like, oh, wait, I mean, it's not like I wanted or anything. And Nami's like, no, it's fine. It's
cool. He's like, does it taste good? And he's like, look at them, but yes, it did taste good. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Yeah. 2 peas in a pod. Yeah. Post-time kid humor uses too much of the end face for my liking. He really is. Alan, any comments you wanted to make on the whole post-time skip versus pre-time skip kind of discourse, or? I'm taking the Griever approach from now on.
Yeah, I was saying I kind of pretty much agree with Griever. I don't really subscribe to it. I did just now. Like I kind of noticed that a lot of the gags in post-time skip have been like more on the whole play off of like the manliness of like, or not manliness, but like the boyness, I guess, of child, like of like all the male characters in the story. Like every time, like when there's a robot popping up, or samurai popping up, all of them just get fucking, like they all just get fucking mesmerized. Like even like Law and Zoro fall for it too. where it's like, nah, like Nami, like when they met Ryza and everybody, and like they were all fucking going crazy, and Nami's like, bro, why are y'all tripping? And Zoro and Law are like, bro, it's a ninja. Like, what are you talking about?
like why aren't you tripping?
Yeah, like you're the one who's fucking doing wrong over here.
No,
Like
disappointment in Law's face kills me, bro. Because he's like, bro, can you even do shadow clone jutsu?
he did, and after Ryzen all like he did like 80 different things. It's like, all right, fine, Jesus Christ. But it also reminded me of when Usopp and Luffy were like, put out the fire. Nami, he's so stupid. She's so dumb. You're supposed to keep a campfire going. They start crying and bashing the ground. Like, I definitely laugh a lot more with 3 times it, but obviously, as Griever said, with the story getting a little more serious, I'm sure that went to the wayside. But One Piece never stops being funny. I mean, even with Killer, oh my God, what's wrong with me? King, I should call a nigga Albert. That's why I need to start calling him Albert by his government. King versus Zoro. When he pulled his head back, he's like, "Look, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I see." What did he say about like pteranodons? And he's like, there is no pteranodons that act like this. Like, there's always gonna be humor. It's always
Bro,
gonna be there.
When Queen started fucking rotating his neck or whatever,
Yeah.
he was like, "There's no dinosaur that can do this shit."
Oh, or even was it him? No, it was him. It was not who's who. It was the one that fought Frankie.
Yeah.
Sasori? No, that's
Sasaki.
Saki.
Yeah. Turned into the fucking Triceratops.
Oh, I kept calling him Sarah from Land Before Time.
But Sarah was a badass girl. This guy's a fucking fat beer gut bitch.
Facts. She more better.
Yeah.
Post on wait, uses too much of the NL face for my liking. Am I a Robin fan? Never knew that. Shut up, man. Shut up. Go watch Simi. But yeah, I still think I'm gonna make a video talking about some of the differences that I noticed and stuff. But I'm gonna start taking a Griever approach. Like, this is One Piece. Like, it's all part of the story, you know. So yeah, that is what's
and I just like, my final note on this is like, I want people to understand, like, sometimes the narrative and story shift. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like the first half of One Piece is primarily about familiarizing yourself with the world and then enjoying the adventure aspect of it. And then now, especially in Elbaf, we've gotten down to the nitty gritty of things. Like, we have a government that has erased it. Oh my God, has erased the world history 2 times over, and we have like world nobles and stuff like that engaging in human trafficking, and you know, it's just a lot of stuff.
Real world issues. Now. We got really dangerous, dark topics. Yeah.
So everything can't always be sunshine and rainbows and the way you want it. And then, like, the reverse is true. Like, you can't knock on the people that enjoyed the pre-time skip, because there was a lot of adventure in life in the beginning of it. Sometimes some people gravitate towards that.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this too. I thought real quick.
Shanks gave up his arm. That's literally why Shanks gave up his arm, was to say, Luffy, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
This is a world of where you can lose your life, you limbs, as he told Whitebeard. I bet this on the next world. I bet it on the new generation. I mean, and it was literally a life lesson for Luffy to be like, it doesn't matter how powerful you are. It doesn't matter this. There are dark shit in the world. And that was chapter 1. That was episode 1.
I was going to say, if you pay attention to episode 1, Shanks was trying to kind of steer him away from that until he said something that Roger said immediately. And then he gave him the hat kind of thing. Because he was like, remember Luffy was holding the knife like, I'm mad enough now, you see? And he's like, have some juice.
Yeah, no,
Thanks.
You're not.
I've never seen a pirate who eats juice. Drinks juice and started clouding him like.
And even Shanks's word as a Yonko now, going up to Rayleigh, be like, hey, the same thing Roger said, Master Rayleigh, and stuff. And he was like, I always wanted to meet him. And when he met up with Scopper, we saw the flashback there, the last chapter. He fucking said, he goes, I'm not taking your word, cabin boy, sort of idea. Like, Scopper giving Shanks shit, because he's like, bitch, I raised you. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm going to see this kid with my own eyes, and I'll determine.
I'll judge for myself. Yeah.
And what did he do? He literally got the shine in his eye and went, all right, you boys are good. I give up. You know? Because it wasn't about fighting them and testing their strength. It was about a lot of things. You know what I mean? But it was all about, I just want to see What's their character? That was the point of the fight, and steal the key and stuff. It wasn't about strength. It was about, like, all right, Shanks saw something in you. You've been trained by Rayleigh, my best bud, but I'm going to judge you for myself. And I ain't doing shit for you unless I see what you're worth. And he determined, all right, he's got a good... The moment Zoro did that thing, he's got a good crew.
Yeah.
Like, that part. So it's all this relative stuff that I just really like. And this is why I don't understand the argument about the post-time, because there's still... I think Oda just has a lot more subtle writing character moments. Then it was more slap you in the face with them pre-time skip. That's all.
That's fair. Last thing I'll say is, like, I just think there's like two sides of this, or like sometimes some people just miss certain things from the pre-time skip. The crew constantly being together, constantly bickering and interacting with one another because we separate so many times, and even on the island separate, right? You don't see it as much. So some people miss that, and then I think for some people the novelty of certain things is starting to grind their gears. I think Sly earlier said, I'm just kind of tired of the Usopp cowardice 25 years or so in. So I do think this is why I don't like when the objective people try to act like outside factors can't kind of somewhat influence your enjoyment. Like time even itself, like, we've been reading One Piece for a long time, a lot of us. Most of us here didn't pick up the manga last year. We were 11, 12, 13, 14 starting to read this. You know what I mean? So that's just something I wanted to add there too. I actually have an interesting question for you guys. I meant to ask at the beginning, which I totally forgot. And then we'll get to our last topic and wrap things up. And it's, what's something that you were absolutely convinced was going to happen in One Piece, and it didn't happen, and it kind of shocked you? And I'll give you like my example. At the time I was reading Alabasta, nobody could have convinced me Vivi wasn't joining, and I was shocked she didn't join the crew. I couldn't believe it. Every fiber in my being is like, Vivi is the next Nakama, let's go. Mind you, I got the shirt on, Nico Robin. That's my second favorite character. Shout out to Robin. But you could not have convinced me that at the time. Like, I really thought Vivi was going to join the Straw Hats. Do you guys have anything like that?
I mean, the most obvious one for me, I dead ass thought that Ace was going to live.
Okay.
Okay.
I really thought Luffy was gonna succeed after like going through Impel Down. Like, it's still my favorite arc to this day because the ups and downs of that arc, I think, is truly like the best I've ever experienced.
Hold on, real quick.
Of any series that I've ever read, because it's like we bust in, level 1 ain't shit, level 2 ain't shit. We get to level 3. Oh, these niggas hitting a little harder, but you know, Luffy's gotten left stronger now. I'm like, this is the best that the jail has to offer. Level 6 gonna be cake. Then we get to level 4, and then it's like, oh shit, starting to struggle a little bit. Then Magellan shows up, and like up until that point, you know, every time Luffy goes up against a big bad, it's like he gonna find a way. Like he might not like get it the first time, but he gonna find a way. But after I saw Luffy fight him the first time, I was like, I genuinely don't know how he's gonna beat this guy.
Majula.
So lost.
I've always said this about Impel Down. Not a single single panel, a single page, or a single chapter doesn't slap. That's why the arc is so good to me. Every page has something that I fucking love. I love every single page. That's why it's top 2, bro. Skypiea got moved to 3rd. I did. Impel Down 2nd. You know me. I'm an Ennius Lobby stand till Water 7 Saga till the day that I die. But yeah.
Just adding on to your point about Ace. It's funny because when I started One Piece, I already knew that Ace was gonna die. But as I was watching it, like I was getting through it at Impel Down and Marineford. I'm like, bro, hold on. Is there a chance that Ace is actually gonna survive this shit? Have I just been like, did I just like see the wrong information or something? I feel like I gaslit myself.
Oh, you tricked your own self? That's crazy.
Yes, bro. I was like, nah. I'm watching like, nah. There's no way Luffy's just gonna there's no way Luffy's not gonna fucking succeed here. Like, Ace is about to survive. Like, all the people saying that Ace is dead, they were lying.
But it's just like, even like on Marineford, there's so many like fake outs. Like, Luffy finally gets to the podium, then the three admirals get in his face. So I'm like, fuck. And then afterwards, he finally gets close to Ace and he has the key. Then what happened? Kizaru breaks the key.
Snipe.
Fuck. Then we get the real key. The Marines start shooting at them. Fuck. And then afterwards, Ace is free. I'm like, oh. And at that point, I'm like, all right, we got Ace. He's free.
Like Whitebeard, I think we knew he was gonna die. I think we knew Whitebeard maybe.
Yeah.
Ace? Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Whitebeard was gonna die because like all the signs were pointing to it. He old, he's sick, he's the last of a dying age. They kept bringing it on. He's world's strongest man. I was like, there's no way that they're gonna keep hyping him up for him to like escape from this.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be his last stop, and his goal was gonna be to free Ace for the next generation, and then the Whitebeard pirates are gonna move on with Ace at the top. So that's what I was thinking. And then to see Akainu put a hole through my man's. It's like I blinked a million times because I was like, "There's no way I'm looking at what I'm looking at right now." There's just no way. It's not possible.
I was so mad at Ace for a long time. Like now, like I've calmed down. I get it, but like I was so mad at him. Like we saved you, and your hot-headedness turning back around. But then you get the backstory when Luffy's behind him, he never runs. Yada yada. Like it made sense. Like it all makes sense. But at the time, I was so mad at him. I was so mad.
I mean, I get it though. Yeah. I get it though. You can't say something about people you care about because they're gonna come after them. Mm-hmm. You gotta check that shit when it first said.
Mm-hmm. I got one back when Dressrosa started. Sanji and Luffy clash. I don't know why, but I was convinced Sanji would have put in work. I don't care what anyone says. Zoro not having any input on the Sanji situation will always rub me the wrong way. I wasn't asking or expecting him to leave the crew or anything, but just address it.
How many times are we gonna keep talking about this now?
I don't think Nami or Luffy ever fucking told Zoro what happened in Whole Cake, and that's why Zoro doesn't need to address it. Mm-hmm. Had Zoro now, I'm gonna go devil's advocate as a Zoro fan and as the respect that Zoro commands as the first mate and being the one responsible for the crew in this regard. If he knew the entire context of what went down, he'd have words with Sanji. But I don't think Nami or Luffy ever told him what happened. All he knows is that they left for Whole Cake and Sanji came back. And no one told Zoro any different. But at the end of the day, it would be Zoro's job to pull the same, not because it's a different situation, but he would still basically be like, because once again, Zoro's reasoning is sound. It doesn't matter the reason, good or bad. You hit our captain. You defied our captain. There's penance for doing that. And you need to pay them before you go back on the crew. That's why when people say that the Usopp and the Sanji situation are different, I'm like, yeah, but the context might be different, but the ruling is still the same. Is that you do not go against you do not defy your captain. So, and that's Zoro is very regimented. He's very military in that regard. You do not defy your commander. Your commander's word is law. I don't give a fuck if you had a good reason. It doesn't matter. You disobeyed an order. You got to pay the penance. You got to pay the piper. So, but going off on that, I don't actually have one other than the fact that something that I thought was going to happen. I thought when we went to Egghead and met Vegapunk, we would actually learn some actual good devil fruit lore. And we learned sweet fuck all from apparently the smartest man in the world.
We learned that some idiot was like, I have a dream to wear I could become a jacket.
Yeah, all we learned from Vegapunk was the smartest man in the world, the light Yagami, the fucking the Lelouch, the smartest man in the world was a fucking was a naive idiot. In 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, and last year, and literally during the arc. We learned that the smartest man in the world is also the most naive fucking moron that caused more suffering than the goddamn celestial dragons did. So, fuck Vegapunk. Other than that, I learned no new lore from the fucker, and I learned nothing about devil fruits and their origin, the mother of the sea or the fucking mother nature or anything. I've learned more from that mural in Elbaf that Frankie was staring at than I learned from fucking apparently the authority on fucking the world. So fuck Vegapunk and his bullshit. I'm glad that motherfucking apple.
I will never not support your hatred for Vegapunk. I'm with you.
I hate that motherfucker. I waited 10 years for this dude to come in.
I want him to reattach his head so I can just kick it and let him topple over into the damn sea, bro.
I'm so happy that motherfucker's dead. I'm so fucking happy. It's all he deserves. He fucked Bonney, Kuma, the Straw Hats, my appreciation for lore in the One Piece world. He fucked everything.
All right, let's get into let's get into our last topic. Wait, Alan, did you know? You said you kind of tricked yourself with the ace thing. I don't know if you had another one, real quick.
No, that was it.
Okay, so, I think some of my friends in my real life, they tend to go off of my feel and my hype and excitement for One Piece. So sometimes when they feel like I'm not excited, I don't know why, they don't seem to be keeping up. But since I've been keeping up with Elbaf a lot, we've been talking a lot more about One Piece. And a character that keeps coming up is, for whatever reason, is Katakuri, and like who we can and can't beat at this moment in time, like who we couldn't beat, and how strong he is presently. And I was going to ask you guys if you thought that he's been power cliffed in the series, because people are like, okay, do you think he could beat King? And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know that he can hurt King based on what I've seen. Like, obviously, if he figures out the whole flame mode thing, I know King's durability isn't nearly the same, and I know that he's a conqueror, so he basically had more Haki, I guess, categories than King had. But what's kind of your opinion, I guess, on Charlotte Katakuri's kind of present level of power? Was he badly power cliffed, do you think? Because I do think Big Mom's crew. So. Okay. Because I do think one thing he. Sorry. Before I hand it to you, real quick. The one thing I'll give him is his future sight. Yeah. He's hard to hit.
I think Katakuri. I don't know. The One Piece community is very weird about him. Like, there's people that like diehard Katakuri, Katakuri 1, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's the ones that's like, oh, Katakuri is not that good. He's trash. 48 years old, still living in his mother's basement, et cetera, et cetera. So,
okay, that's kind of funny.
I think when you rate like the first commanders, vice captains of the Yonkos, or whatever you will say, you gotta put Marco at first, just basically on like all his feats that he's displayed, who he's gone up against, and how he's like still standing to this day.
Do you mean presently, like excluding Rayleigh?
Well, Rayleigh's retired, so we're talking about like the ones that are still active.
That's all I was asserting. And I guess I don't know how you feel about Lucky Roo and or Ben Beckman. I don't know how you feel about them. Oh, we don't know yet.
Well, we haven't seen them do anything. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So like off base of like the lore of the series, we have to put Beckman second because they said like his power rivals Shanks, but I haven't seen nothing from him. So like I have to respect. Yeah, I have to respect what they say about him, but I have to see something first.
No, but we never. Once again, it's going back to the Garp argument. We never saw anything from Garp until Hajinosu, and people trashed on him for 20 years, unprovoked. No matter how many times we were told by the tops in the verse that Garp is the guy, nobody believed it because we didn't see the feat. That's why I don't believe the see the feat bullshit. I believe if the top of the verse, if Roger says Garp is top tier, I'm believing the Pirate King. I don't need to see Garp punch an island to know that I'm going to believe Roger. So I don't get this whole you have to see the feat bullshit. We've been told by Oda himself that Ben Beckman is right there next to Shanks. Just like we were told last chapter that, or the chapter before, that Bond and Rayleigh were on Roger tier.
Yeah, Lucky Roo is the main combatant, but he's not stronger than Ben Beckman.
Yeah.
Like, he's just the one that gets the most active.
Ben Beckman was there, stands. It was sort of the same line that we just got about Gabon and Rayleigh were standing there with Roger. So, I mean...
Yeah, because remember in the beginning, Ben Beckman was the one that blew that bandit's head off. Yep. He was the first one to, like, actually
Well, Lucky Roo did shoot one in the head, and then Beckman took his rifle and beat the rest of them. Yes.
And they even said that the quality is that Shanks's crew is the smallest, but it's got the most quality. It's quality over quantity.
People, but his core crew is a quality over quantity crew.
Far stronger than anybody else's crew. That's just when it comes toe to toe. Shanks's number 4 and 5 can beat the shit out of the commanders of Kaido and Big Mom. That's basically what that states. So, and I'm good with that. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that in my book.
It's all about quality, not quantity. He's the smallest Yonko crew. Well, now we got Luffy, but he's the small. He was at the time. Whitebeard had 45 fucking ships. We have Kaido of the 100 Beasts. We have Big Mom with an entire fucking country.
All her kids.
and 66 fucking kids. But at the end of the day, Shanks still holds the same level with 25 guys.
If Zoro's dumbass figured out King and iframes Katakuri with throttle lip, don't kill me.
Yeah. So here's the deal. So to go back on my opinion on the Katakuri.
I didn't finish.
Oh, sorry, Pat.
Sorry, man. We got into this whole tangent about Ben Beckman.
Oh yeah. You talked about my boy Ben Beckman, so I hype.
He's that guy. He's that guy. I'm just saying, like, I can't put him at number 1 until like I actually see him in battle. But I have no doubt that he'll probably be number 1. I just want to see it first. So I just have to put him at number 2 off the respect, and then after that we have who is it?
King.
I would King and Katakuri, right? So I would say Katakuri is stronger than King, just based off like his prowess in battle and the way he pushed Luffy to the brink, and then King would be last. Because even though King can be invincible for a couple of seconds, I'm pretty sure Katakuri's battle IQ is enough to figure that shit out and put like Mochi on his wings or some shit and ground him and then beat the shit out of him. Because people forget that Katakuri's armament was stronger than Luffy's, and his observation was better. Now, obviously, Luffy's Conqueror's Haki is better.
That's whole cake, Luffy. He's on a whole different level now.
He is on a whole different level now, but I'm just saying, like at the time, like,
if you plopped current Sanji or current Zoro now to fight Katakuri, they're winning convincingly.
Together or one by one?
One by one.
Yeah, wait, whoa.
1-on-1. I do not think Katakuri can beat as he was in Whole Cake Island can beat current Zoro or current Sanji. I do not think he can beat them.
I do think it's a pretty bad matchup for Zoro, though, being that he's like Mochi. It'll be difficult for him.
I think with the added knowledge now that maybe Haki can overcome stuff, I don't know if that could help him or his advanced conquerors. That's fair though, because I know with the King of Hell mode, he also has a bit of a stamina drain because Enma can technically quote unquote kill him, but.
Remember just one key factor. Remember the whole that King can't be hurt with the flames on sort of idea. When Zoro defeated King, he had the flames on. When he activated King of Hell mode, his Haki was good enough to actually
I have to check that. I haven't confirmed that myself. I'm not saying you're lying, but I keep forgetting to look at that myself. But let me say this, right? So like my opinion is a little different than most people because it's like I don't think just because you hold the same role that all crews are like equal, right? I think we understand that. Like everybody in here could be the captain of a big football club, a soccer club, but that doesn't mean that our stats are equal. You know what I mean? Like I could be I could be a speed merchant. Pat is an incredible scorer. Griever is a really good passer. Like I just try to look at it objectively. Like I do think Big Mom's crew kind of as a whole impresses me more than Kaido's, but Kaido I think had more numbers from what I can tell. It was a little more top heavy. I think that's a discussion for another day. I don't want to get into it right now because I kind of go back and forth. But it's like I just look at Katakuri like what is he really good at? Evading, right? Like evasion is his thing. And then with King, it's like I just take the hit because with my flames on, you don't hurt me. And just I think just the way that you look at it and you perceive it, how do those two things interact? I actually do think Katakuri is a very smart fighter. So you guys are right. He would figure out. I think he'd figure it out faster than even Zoro did about the whole flame thing what was going on. The biggest problem I always have with Katakuri, always to this day, is just that like I constantly question myself, where is his KO power? Like all these attacks look so devastating and strong, but Luffy kept shrugging him off. Granted, even I even think with for the most part with Haki, trying to beat him to death is the worst way to try to beat Luffy. He should have used Mogura way more, in my opinion, because that's where he got his biggest hit. Even though Flambe intervened and got in the way, I think if he used Mogura more, he probably would have had a better. Granted, Luffy, he's so much bigger than Luffy. Luffy was just kind of slipping in between the spikes, so I get why he, on occasion he kept putting it away, because the size difference there may have not been working to his favor. But it's just one of those things where I don't think either of them could take many hits based on what I've seen. Because as soon as Zoro figured that out, I think Zoro cut him a few times and he was done. Granted, I think if you get cut by a sword and punched, you should die quicker or lose quicker if you're getting cut by a sword. So it makes sense to me. It's just one of those things where it's like I have to know what your viewpoint of the power scaling and what your viewpoint of the character's like stats are, and then I can get into it. But I do want to say this. I do think King's area mobility is a big thing that we don't talk about. He chose to fight Zoro on the ground. He could have kept his distance for the most part. I know at the end he kind of did and tried to blast him and got cut, but I do think if he used his aerial mobility more to his advantage, it would have been a harder fight with Zoro because he's grounded and he doesn't have Skywalk. So that's kind of my take. But do I think he got power cliff? Not necessarily, because I'm one of those. What did I say about Crocodile, man? Those are the wisest words that I heard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think even just in terms of fighting styles, Oda's always been good at showing. Just because you lost to Luffy or lost to this character, it doesn't affect what you can do in the overall One Piece verse. Sure, Crocodile lost to Luffy. I know Crocodile's a little bit of a weird one to use because we know he just kind of got like a buff, but he didn't seem to be out of place in Marineford, even though he lost to a pre-gear Luffy, even though the record is still 2-1. I think you have to keep that in mind. Because here's...
And we have Oda's statement. Oda went on to say...
It's 2-1!
He said he would not have introduced Crocodile that
early. Shiryu. We forgot Shiryu. I forgot about him. Sorry, I guess. But continue.
So at the end of the day, Crocodile should have been way more powerful by Oda's own statement. He thought the series was going to be over. So he didn't plan on it continuing. So he has admitted in like multiple SBSs and interviews, yeah, no, I introduced Crocodile too early. That sucks.
I mean, even still, like, he introduced him early, but it still works because it's like you have him defeat Luffy twice convincingly, and then he loses the third time because he's frustrated. Because it's like, I put this nigga down twice. He's still in my face. He's not leaving me alone. I've had a bad day. I lost my subordinates. They can't even get off the fucking bomb, right? I have to do everything.
I don't have the goddamn
and the reasoning for him not having like all the advanced conquerors Haki and stuff we've seen also makes sense because he just went back and just got complacent.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And now he's no longer anymore and stuff like that.
But yeah, that all being said, I actually agree. I don't think that Katakuri got power cliff too badly because I kind of just agree with the same thing about like using Crocodile as an example. It's just that when Luffy fought Katakuri, Luffy was not at that level yet. He had to use that fight to get to the level of Katakuri, and I still don't think by the time he beat Katakuri that he was still even at Katakuri's level exactly.
Agreed.
But like I mean, it's up for the debate, but I just don't think that he was like when he left that fight. I couldn't say that Luffy.
If post what you're saying, just correct me if I'm wrong, and I agree with you. You're saying post the Katakuri Luffy fight, if they both went at it again at 100% health with no interference, Katakuri would beat Luffy.
I don't believe.
See that? I don't
agree with that.
I just don't think it would still be a hard.
That I agree with.
Fight, Katakuri was
I just don't think that Luffy was. I just don't think that Luffy had. I don't think Luffy had completely surpassed Katakuri by the time that fight had ended.
I agree.
I don't think he actually surpassed him until Wano had started.
Thank you. I agree, 100%.
No, that's fair. But
yeah.
I still like Katakuri. He's cool. I don't have any issues with him. But yeah.
I love Katakuri. My big thing is, you know what my problem with this is okay, so I just reviewed the the King and Omega chapter today, and I think that the Katakuri thing is very relevant to. So everyone says that the chapter is trash, and I'll just summarize it really quick for you guys. Is the sole reason they say it's trash is because a character that people like, who people enjoy, just got one-shotted by our MC. Power scaling wise, narratively, that makes total sense. This dude's a cool character, and he's a strong fighter, but our MC has surpassed him in every aspect, and I mean by tiers at this point. So him getting one-shotted makes total sense, but everyone's trashing the chapter.
Wait, who got one-shotted, Graver?
Nitoku.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Anyway, so that happened. So my point is when the Katakuri debate comes up about power scaling, it's just one of those things where Katakuri is really fucking cool. We all, I think most of the community loves Katakuri.
I do. I like him.
And they don't want him to be power cliffed. So they do this thing. I don't think he's been power cliffed. But I do think is that's part of the reason. Is the only reason people said the King and Omega chapter today was trash was because a character they like got fodderized. So they don't like it. Even if it makes sense, they don't like it. Right? So in the same sense, people don't want Katakuri to be power cliff because they want him to come back into the story. Same with Eneru. Eneru's a fan favorite villain. He's not mine, but people love Eneru. They want him to come back and show off his shit. And I'm like, bitch had base level observation Haki and a lightning devil fruit. He ain't coming in and doing fucking what you guys want. But when he comes back, I'm sure he'll have upgrades, blah, 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 just like Crocodile. But people don't want that to happen. They want Katakuri to come in and still be able to go toe-to-toe with all these guys because they like him, because he's a fan favorite. And I think that's okay. But at the same description, I also hold Katakuri higher than actually, by the sounds of it, all three of you, too, from a power scaling perspective. So there's that.
I truly question the man's ability to just put somebody down with an attack. That's all. That's the only thing that's blowing me. But I don't think King has an incredible amount of vitality because he didn't take too many hits too. So I feel like maybe his attacks would do better against King if they land. You know what I mean?
You also got to remember that Marco's the strongest because Marco held off both King and Queen for fun, just waiting for Sanji and Zoro.
But he didn't damage King though.
I think Katakuri does have.
He wasn't trying to put them down. Marco's whole job was to stall two fucking commanders of a Yonko crew, and he did it with ease.
He did. He was cooking.
He did do it with ease. He was chilling.
He gave him the Captain Falcon knee of justice, bro. I said, "Oh shit."
And remember, going back to Griever's thing about the one shot, I think that like a good one shot is it's really impactful when used the right way. Like when Kaido fucking one shot Luffy right after he beat Katakuri, like it showed like the difference in power. Or like going even back to like the beginning of pre-time skip when Luffy one shot the Pacifista and it showed like the difference of like, nah, we're not moving like how we were 2 years ago. So I just think that just the way you can use somebody getting one shot, just it helps the narrative just to show like how much stronger somebody has gotten or just how different just how much higher this tier of power is from the last one.
Exactly, and it's why people don't like how Smoker and Tashigi fell off for the One Piece version of that, right? Because they're obviously not on that level anymore, but it doesn't make them bad characters, and that's what I don't like. You have to separate the power scaling from bad character development.
The Smoker comeback is coming, bro.
They don't. Yeah,
no,
I know. I'm on the Smoker high train.
Opponents.
I really am. But I'm just saying, just because everyone doesn't become Yonko tier doesn't make them trash characters overnight. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
If Katakuri drops out of the top 20 strongest, top 30 strongest, it doesn't make him a shitty character. It doesn't make him a weak character. It just means is that other characters have grown beyond his level. That's okay. You can still love Katakuri. I love Katakuri. I like Katakuri better than any of the other Beast Pirates. 100%.
Absolutely.
Easily.
I wanted to like King, but I think he's lame. And his name's Albert.
Well, King sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a huge. I mean, King.
I like Queen the most out of the Beast Pirates.
Yeah,
honestly.
Queen is much more fun.
But I've been sitting back saying that Ben Beckman is the strongest first mate the whole time. I've been sitting there going, Ben Beckman is the strongest, long before the SBS came out and fucking Oda said, yeah, Ben Beckman's basically the Rayleigh, to Roger of Shanks' crew. It's like, holy shit, this man could kill Marco if he wanted.
I know he's powerful. I just want to see it first.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to see it too. I want to see that shit. But in the same way, once again, I'm going to take the feats. I'm going to take the named feats by the strong characters as fact until I see otherwise.
Yeah,
I'm going to take Gorosei saying another Yonko or Marco. They put Marco in the same sentence as a Yonko to defeat Blackbeard 2 years ago. It was like, okay, so they know Marco's not fucking around. And did he showcase that? Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
He takes on Admiral.
Only dummies thought Marco wasn't that guy. Only stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same with Garp. How many times were we told that Garp fought Whitebeard, Garp fought Roger? Even when the flashback with Odin came out and Roger was like, hey, if you want to send Marines after me, send Sengoku or Garp. Don't bother me. And it's like, so this man was like, no, I want a real fight. People still, before the Hajinosu shit, people still said, nah, Garp can't take on Roger. Yes, he fucking can. Like that was his whole thing. So it's the same thing with Katakuri though. It doesn't matter if he falls off. It doesn't matter if these characters get old or whatever. Let's just enjoy the character. Let's just separate. It's okay for your favorite character to not be in the top 10. That's what I'm trying to say.
A lot of One Piece fans have this weird thing where they attach a character's worth with how strong they are, who they can and can't be, and I don't particularly understand it. But you're talking to a guy who one of his favorite characters is Iceberg. Iceberg is literally one of my favorite characters. Who is Iceberg beating in a fight?
Nobody.
So he'll build a better ship than you, but that's. I'll finish off like the kind of my power scaling statement with this. Things could change in Endgame. It could change, but I always felt that Oda did a good job with the One Piece, that giving the top tiers kind of different stats, different abilities, and different pathways to the top. I'm gonna still stand by Big Mom and Kaido being so hard to put down because they're hard to hurt. And Kaido has incredible endurance and stamina and vitality in general. Dragon Scales, Conqueror's Haki, whatever. He's hard to hurt. I do not think someone like Shanks can take the same punishment that Kaido can, but I think his attack power is way higher. Like he with one slash, he's doing more damage to you than what Kaido is, but he can't take that same level of punishment. Blackbeard cannot dodge a goddamn thing. He is fat as hell. But he's on his Kunran gimmick. He's going to get hit with something and hit you with something harder and put you down. He don't win fights cleanly. Anytime he wins a fight, he's dirty and bloody. A tied up 12-year-old kicked him in the face. You know what I mean?
Unless, hold on. Unless, Whitebeard's cabin boy, I don't like you. Get the fuck off my island, bitch. Unless that happens, then he doesn't give a fuck how many devil fruits he's contained. Then he fuck.
No, that's my point isn't that he runs away. My point is just that like he can't win a fight without taking damage. That's how. Yeah. As a result of the Yami Yami no Mi a little bit, which to me is interesting because usually the top tiers are kind of okay. They're fast, strong, experienced with a lot of energy or a chakra pool or whatever, and they have like, you know what I mean? Like it's not exactly like that presently, in my opinion, for One Piece. Like. Again, Queen got to be a commander on a Yonko's crew with science and a devil fruit. That's it. His Haki's trash. He tried to swing at Sanji with a sword normally. What the fuck is... You're in a new world. Are you for real? Come on, bro. So that's just how I feel about it. So that's why when it comes to Katakuri, just like, who are we talking about? Let's analyze the matchup and think about... Oh, this is what I wanted to say. And this is why I'll always defend the Davy Back fight. I get it. The anime extended it. Anime may have made it more annoying for a lot of people. But Luffy just came back from back-to-back Logias. Crocodile, Enel, and he struggled with Foxy. Why? The environment. He was fighting on Foxy's ship. Foxy's a cheater. Luffy can fall for really stupid, dumb tricks. His ability is actually not garbage in any capacity, right? And you would think like, okay, you should be able to fold this guy easily. But he gave Luffy a little bit of trouble. Afro Luffy even. The Afro Luffy. He gave Afro Luffy trouble. Why? Because he used cheating, deception, and the ship's environment and the fact that the refs was cheating to his advantage. And he pushed him to a limit that you probably didn't think he could have got pushed to from somebody like that. And I just don't feel like they used that as a reference point to be like, if you are not careful in this series, anybody can lose to anybody because of things like ability or whatever technology or weaponry they have. Sugar is a problem. I think now that we know that with higher Haki you can like cancel and negate, sure. But Sugar was a problem. If Sugar touched Luffy or whatever, it would have been a problem. And those type of opponents will always give him trouble. If Miss is it Golden Week, the one with the color trap, comes back with her betray black and ally whatever, that doesn't jive well with Luffy's like mindset and power set. Just keep that in mind. That's the last thing I wanted to say.
Also, Golden Weeks is not a devil fruit. So
they haven't seen Awakened Foxy yet. They're not ready. They're not ready.
There is no cancellation with Haki for Golden Week's ability, so they're fucked. That bitch is the strongest in the verse. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. She paints Shanks, it's over.
No, I don't think that's working on him. Yeah.
Also, I was gonna say if we're gonna rate Shiryu as well, I have Shiryu below Cat.
Okay. He's got to do
because I know they say like he was once like as strong as Magellan, but I don't get that vibe from him.
No, I don't either.
Neither.
Like having to get a devil fruit that'll make you go invisible. Like nigga, we're in the new world. Like being invisible doesn't mean shit. These niggas have observation Haki, bro.
Shiryu was a coward who waited.
Fujitora cannot see already.
He was distracted.
He's gonna sense you the whole time. That's not gonna help you against Fujitora. Like, cut it out.
Yeah, bro. I was like, is him being invisible supposed to move me? Like, I don't fucking care about that.
Everyone's saying that Zoro's gonna fight Shiryu, and I'm like, bitch, Shiryu isn't even on Jinbei's fucking off.
I mean, if Shiryu does fight Zoro, I would see like that being a tool to use to like make Zoro's observation Haki stronger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The only reason to showcase it was so he can attack. Yeah, it'll be the whole. I can attack paper. I can attack iron. Now I can attack air itself. I can attack an invisible enemy. I can attack when there is no or something. They could play that stunt, but I'm just saying that Shiryu is not as impressive as people want him to think. Once again, the Titan take out Aokiji. The Blackbeard pirates are not that strong.
They are not.
They are not. I'm sorry.
Blackbeard
carries that I'm supposed to be afraid of Burgess? Oh my god, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. Garp took down 5 of them and only got injured
Vasco
one time.
Bro, you're not beating me.
An old Garp showed up and took down 5 out of the 10 top officers with ease and was only injured due to the fact that he was fighting Aokiji and trying to save Kobe while Shiryu pulled a sneak attack bullshit. No. Garp could take out all the Titanic captains for lols at 100%. So, no, you are not. Your crew is not it. I'm sorry.
His crew sucks, man. They suck.
Crew is terrible.
Top heavy as hell.
Aokiji killed them all. Aokiji froze 8 of them because they interrupted his drink at a bar.
No, they probably started.
He was like, "Yeah, I could kill them all right now."
Yeah, they're a funny crew. I can't, but I am excited for when the Teach Pirates, the Blackbeard Pirates, actually get focused though. So I'm gonna end this with asking everybody one final question, and then we'll wrap up. What's one thing in One Piece you really, really, really want to see? It could be a fight, could be a matchup, could be a character ability, whatever the case is, and I'll give you mine. I've been saying this for a while. At some point in One Piece, I need Wiper and Cricket to share a drink, bro. Just for Calgara and Norland the Liar. I need that. I don't care if it's a cover story. Just I need them to meet. and be like, okay, so Jaya, the bell was in the sky and everything, and they have that drink and talk. I just need to see that, just so I feel good about what happened over there at Skypiea. Like, that's something I really want to see. I've been saying it for like a decade. I need that wiper, and I need that Mountain Cricket. I need y'all to share a drink, man. Talk about some shit, and talk about y'all ancestors. You guys got anything like that?
My only one that I can think of offhand, because it threw me for a loop. I'm sure I have others. My big one is I want Rayleigh to meet up with Luffy again and be basically the Kisuke Urahara, be the proud mentor, be like, you grew strong, kid. You know what I mean? I want to see Rayleigh. I want to see the Dark King show up one more time in a big battle with Luffy and basically be like, whether he dies there or not, it's a whole nother topic. I just want him to acknowledge Luffy like, hey, apprentice, you grew strong. You know what I mean? I want Luffy to hear Rayleigh's approval of his strength at this point, because I feel like that's something we might not get. That or Ben Beckman's same idea, because we've gotten a lot of the filler stuff with Ben actually taking care of Luffy a lot when they were in Fuchsia Village and stuff like that. So for Ben to be like, because Ben also doesn't want to fight Luffy and stuff. We saw that in Film Red. We saw a lot of the things where Ben was like, Captain, let's go take care of our kid sort of idea. And we can't meet him yet. And Ben's like, all right, but I'm just saying, so something like that. I just want to see some acknowledgement from somebody. Makino, anybody. The Don. I just want to see somebody be basically like just a heartfelt moment between mentors or family or something with Luffy. That'd be nice.
I like what Lizard said in the chat. That'd be really cool. I need to see a full Roger fight. Hopefully Oda shows that when he beats Rocks in God's Valley in a 1v1. I don't know that's going to show us Rocks versus him, but a full Roger power showcase, I would love to see that. I want to see him go all out against him.
I'm changing my answer. Shanks Mihawk duel. We need to see that shit that Whitebeard talked about.
Don't kill me.
I want to see that.
Sly said I need to see Shanks in a t-shirt. Don't worry, we have 2-armed Shanks. We got Shamrock.
It's very funny that he said that, because my thing was I need to see one of Sabo, Luffy, or Shanks to put Blackbeard in the fucking ground. Like one of those three. I need one of those three to beat the everlasting shit out of Blackbeard and make him put on a tombstone. I'm so tired of this nigga. I can't stand
it.
He's not that
Believe in Blackbeard. Believe in him, Pat. Believe.
I really fucking hate him.
I hate him.
Fuck him.
What about you, Alan?
Magellan killed him. Magellan killed him.
He did. That was funny. Alan, you got something you need to see in One Piece? You gotta see. Are you there?
Alan?
Back in. Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
My bad.
Oh,
okay. All
right. Mine is really just Mihawk. Like it's not really just Shanks first Mihawk. I just want to see Mihawk just get some action.
Oh, like a serious Mihawk?
I also need black sand from Crocodile. I need Haki sand. I need that.
We saw it in the cover material. We saw it. Black sand.
I need it. So
he had
for me, if Zoro's going to make a permanent black blades, I would like the Wano Ichimonji to be first. It should be that one first, in my opinion, though. Sabo getting back. If he pulls up on Blackbeard, that man don't even rate Dragon. Chill on Sabo. He's gonna be alright. I gotta hold the fraud allegations right now, but we gonna be the Flame Emperor gonna be back.
Wait, fraud allegations?
Yeah.
On Sabo?
Yeah, you haven't seen how people have been dissing him because Cobra took 2 attacks and stood up and like defended him, and he took one and he was like dying and he was in the ship. People been cooking Sabo for like a year and some change.
Nah, see, this is how I know people don't be really reading One Piece.
Mm-hmm. The real
that was the whole Gorosei plus Imu, and he was by himself.
But they're like, Cobra's in a wheelchair. He was sick and dying, and he took 2 and stood back up. Sabo's a fraud. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep my stocks and wait till it's my time to talk shit. I'm gonna bide my time.
All right.
I'm powering up.
Yeah.
Hey, niggas gonna be really surprised when people start talking about Sabo saying he's on the same level as Yonko. They're gonna be really surprised.
I've been saying it.
I appreciate you, man. You're way smarter than I was. kept fighting back against the Garp naysayers. I fought for years. I took years off of my fucking life fighting with these people.
Listen.
But you're right. You're right. Just bide your time. Don't argue.
You and I, when it comes to Garp, had different things. I was tired of Garp did the wrong thing at Marineford argument. I never doubted Garp's strength, and anyone who did, I'm just like, obviously you're an idiot. That says more about you than me. I'm not arguing with you. I'm wasting my time.
I'm so tired, right? Thank you.
Real answer, I want to see whatever weapon Nika keeps getting depicted with. Most of the top tiers have some weapon tied to them and their legacy, and it's hard to imagine Luffy with one. Nah, pure fists. I got one more. I need to see that nigga Spandam to die. Spandam needs to die for real. I don't know why he's alive.
Nah, he does.
And he's lobby, and he's pissing me off. Dragon's still there doing nothing. I need the Celestial Dragons clapped while the red line breaks and the fishmen living on land. Yeah. Sabo is way stronger and smarter than Ace. I don't know. I'm not gonna go way stronger necessarily because I'm gonna say this for another day. I do want to talk about how strong we think Ace would be right now if he was still alive, but we'll get to that another day. But I have no Ace lander. No Ace lander from me.
Yeah, it was mostly potential of Ace. He was going to be very strong. That's all everybody ever talked about.
Yeah, and he has some crazy feats in his when he was the captain of the Spade Pirates. If you actually read his light novels, he's got some crazy ass feats. He does.
Dude was powerful as fuck.
Yeah, he just hot headed, literally.
Yeah, literally hot headed.
All right.
I don't think people pay attention to lineage when we're talking about One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
It matters. It matters. We're talking about the son of the Pirate King.
Mm-hmm. Mine seems random, but Luffy building an amusement park on Fuchsia Village. That boy grew up bored as a child. He needed entertainment in his youth.
An amusement park?
I mean, he was super excited to ride the roller coasters and shit at Sabaody, so.
Yeah.
It still kills me that Blackbeard was the biggest pussy out there and still willing to pull up on Dragon at a revolutionary base. Was Blackbeard physically there, or was this a Blackbeard Pirates? I don't remember if he was there physically.
Yeah. Context matters.
Bro, Blackbeard wasn't going to pull up on Dragon.
Blackbeard doesn't pull up on anyone. Blackbeard literally runs from Whitebeard, runs from Magellan, runs from Rayleigh.
Blackbeard fights he knows he can win.
Exactly. You think he's going to run up on the world's most wanted man?
Actually, he's what Kid wants to be. He's actually the greatest pirate because he waits until he's got the advantage, then he wins. He can't beat Sengoku straight up. He can't beat Garp straight up. He can't beat Rayleigh straight up, regardless of what Rayleigh said. Even Shockey was smoking a cigarette when Rayleigh said that shit and was like, no, you're fucking joking, right? Because Blackbeard would never try that. He sweated against a Seraphim that Zoro went, oh. You think you're Mihawk, bitch. Zoro had a better time against the same thing that Blackbeard struggled against. Fuck off with the whole Blackbeard is strong. No, he's not. He's the best pirate in the series, 100%. But he's not a great fighter in his own right. He's conniving. He's cunning.
I don't think you can call him
He's
weak.
a piratey pirate.
Him weak is crazy. You can't call him weak. He almost broke Ace's neck with one chop.
When people put him in top 5, I'm just laughing my ass off.
He's gonna get there.
Whether you might. I haven't seen even good hockey from the man.
Hey, hold on.
He tried.
Hold on. What do you mean? He blocked S sword. Feet.
Yeah, he used arm. Dog walk fight.
I'm playing with you. I'm not being serious. Just like other thing with Teach, I'm gonna just bide my time. I'm biding my time. When it's my time to say ha ha, I'll be say ha ha. Until then, hey man, everything you're saying is fair. I agree with you. He only picks fights he knows he can win. He had absolute faith he could beat Luffy, Kid, and or Law if they came his way from Winter's Island. I think Luffy would have given him some fucking work, but he's lucky it was Law.
Yeah. I don't think no. You know why I say no? Because what's he gonna do? Once again, Luffy's devil fruit. Yeah, that's the problem because the Yami Yami no Mi. What's he fucking doing against Zoro?
If Lizard, if Blackbeard steals Emu's fruit, I'll actually pop up.
Faces a hockey master, the Yami Yami no Mi. From what we understand in the story, the Yami Yami no Mi's only powers. I'm sure there's other powers to it, but the only thing we've seen is devil fruit related. So that's why he's scared of Rayleigh. That's why he's scared of Shanks. That's why he's scared of everybody. So he's got a Gurgur no Mi. He's only for 2 years. I'm not that scared. I think Zoro gives him a tough fucking time, tougher than Luffy, because he can't do half of his power is fucking doesn't matter anymore.
That's the thing that I find super interesting about Blackbeard is like for the Haki man, you one of your greatest advantages is taken away with your ability to take away someone else's ability. So I'm very interested in seeing him fight just a Haki master or someone who's just using Haki, but. We gotta wait and see until that time.
I think Shanks is the only person that can really, put Blackbeard on his laurels as of right now. Just due to the nature of how he fights.
But what you're saying, Griever, it's like even though I absolutely do not believe Zoro would beat Blackbeard in a one-on-one fight. Blackbeard's getting hurt. Blackbeard's getting hurt badly. That's my point. He does not win fights cleanly. To me, that's so interesting. Could you think by now he'd be like fucking dodging shit and doing all kinds of crazy stuff? It's just like, no, I'm fat. I can't dodge nothing. I love it.
Blackbeard is one of the most conniving, which is very party. That's why I said he's actually he's what Kid wants to be. He's dangerous. He's dark. He's one of the best piratey pirates in the series, but it doesn't make him the strongest pirate. Is my point.
I also find that he's challenging the Kaido theory that you need Haki to bring the world to heal. And even when he was fighting with Law, and Law's like, we're actually really good at fighting in the water. You have a bunch of devil fruit users. You're like, I don't give a damn. The advantages you get from a devil fruit are way better than disadvantages. Like his mindset's different. And we'll just see who's right in the end. It's probably a combination of the two more often than not, but that's why I agree, like it's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be so much fun. Man. It's gonna be fun.
The strongest of the old guard, none of them have a devil fruit. Just saying.
Yeah. Do you guys? Well, Sengoku and
Whitebeard and Sengoku.
Whitebeard. But I don't know if you count Shiki in that category, but there's some.
We have Shanks, Garp, Roger. Fucking Rayleigh, we have all these Odin, we have all these guys that are like, and we don't know about Rocks, to be fair, we don't know that. But none of them have devil fruits like Haki is, and most of them were on Kaido's fucking, okay, these are the people who go toe to toe with me. So it's no wonder that they're all conquers Haki, so we can assume Rocks is.
Got a question for y'all about his darkness fruit. Do you think his Kudozu works on everyone? Or only devil fruit users?
Well, it's a gravitational pull, so it's gonna pull people because it's like a black hole.
He did say darkness is gravity. I can even pull up the panel. I'm pretty sure I have it.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because one person, I forget what video I was watching, but one person said, "It's like, yeah, that works great. Okay, my darkness fruit brings Garp's fist closer to my fucking face. How smart is that?" So I went, yeah, point. The one thing the darkness fruit can do is bring Garp closer to killing him. Like, so
yeah.
But I do believe Garp would have beat Blackbeard 1v1, but Blackbeard would never fight Garp 1v1. So
that's my point. He wouldn't pull it out Kiji and walk out there and be like, you versus me. He'd never do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart. And once again, give credit where credit is due. That doesn't make him a bad character or a bad villain. That makes him a smart villain. That makes him smart as fuck. He's like, I am outmatched. I know I'm not top 5, but I'm going to get there by slowly waiting for my opportunity to stab them in the back until there is no top 5.
I have it right here. Gravity is darkness. A darkness so dense it sucks in everything, even light. What it wouldn't be able to do is cancel an ability because they have no ability to cancel. So
yeah, he's got no ability to cancel. He's Garp. What are you going to cancel?
But he does have the girl on me. That is true. So
yeah. So wait a minute. Hold on. Does anybody here, just a quick question, does anybody here believe that Blackbeard in 2 years mastered the Gurgur no Mi better than Whitebeard did in his prime?
No.
No, not yet.
Thank you. Okay, so Garp, who fought Whitebeard to stalemates for 20 years, fought a mastered Gurgur no Mi master, He's intimidated by some punk who stole it? Fuck off. I don't give a fuck. He pulls him in with his darkness for Gura punch. And Garp goes, conquers Haki punch, bitch. It's way better. Your Whitebeard's punch was hit way harder than yours. End of story. Garp beats Blackbeard 10 out of 10 times, even as old as he is. There's no situation where Blackbeard has shown us a single iota, feat, set, or otherwise, that anything he could do, Whitebeard didn't do to Garp, and Garp survived. So I'm sitting here going, no. Garp wins, even in his old age. He put Aokiji in the ground for kicks.
I don't know. I thought Aokiji was clearly stronger than him in that fight because he was also mentally nerfed, but that's just my opinion. He didn't. Garp kept catching him off guard because Kuzan's like, I'm conflicted.
I mean,
I'm conflicted.
Maybe.
I know Pat's still mad at Kuzan, by the way, and he should
Garp
be.
was stabbed at the time too.
You should be.
So
yeah. All right.
Yeah, of course I'm still mad at Kuzan, bitch ass nigga.
Oh, I'm mad at Kuzan too. To be fair.
Hey man, you with the future Pirate King? Don't worry about that. No, I'm kidding. That's Crocodile.
He's the future Pirate King. Let's go.
It's a good question. The reason that I'm going to say no for now is because Luffy's on. Sorry, he asked if Luffy reads the paper that Garp is captured by Blackbeard. Is he sliding? The reason I say no for now is because Luffy's on his adventure, on his journey with his crew, doing his thing. And when he first learned Ace was dying or not okay, he didn't slide. He's like, yo, he's a pirate. That's like, it is what it is. It's kind of later on when it got really bad and he already wasn't with it. Then he apologized to his crew saying he has to go on a detour. So I could see him being like, Garp, you know, my grandpa knows what it is. I don't know though. I don't think about that one. That's an interesting question. So yeah.
I mean, it's different though because it's like Shanks. I mean, I said Shanks. Ace is Luffy's brother, so it's like that was his guide for the sea and things like that. So for him to lose him so early on, like yeah, of course he was trying to desperately avoid that. Garp is already old.
And Garp and Luffy's relationship is not the same as him and Ace. Even when when Garp was mad that Luffy was, he's like, all right, I'm leaving. He's like, okay, bye. He's like, give me a better goodbye, my grandpa. All you ever do is fucking hit me every time I see you. It's like all you do is beat my fucking ass. Go away. So I don't know though. It's an interesting question, but I'm gonna say no. I think he would stay on his journey, and like I said, old. he lived a life. He lived a full life type beat. I don't know. All right. I appreciate you guys coming with me. You have any final words you want to say?
Just thank you very much for the invite. This was a great talk with three fucking kings right now. This was a great time, guys. Thanks.
Hey. Yes, sir.
Loki is free.
Loki. Yeah, Loki stops Rise in 2025.
Loki.
My man did nothing wrong.
Ragnar.
He's going to have his day in court. Y'all going to see.
we got he's being defended by Phoenix Wright. We're not worried. The turnabout king. Alan, anything to say?
My boy Usopp, just waiting for him to get his shine on.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna make a tweet or like our thing, but if you guys have any questions for the next episode you want to ask us or you want us to tackle, I want to do like a question corner to end these off. Definitely hop in the comment section and ask any questions you want us to answer for the next episode, which will probably be in 2 weeks. So you guys be safe. Thank you. Kobe gonna get the legendary Sora Warrior of the Sea Devil. Stop. Shout out to the Pink Mamba though. He's not a fraud. I still think calling him a fraud is crazy, but let's go for another time. Yeah, I'll be safe.
Calling Kobe a fraud?
Yeah.
What is wrong with the community sometimes, man?
Bro.
It's Kobe. What